I have waited for a day where, in some magical crossover, Mormonism and YouTube drama become the same thing. I have quite the grin on my face, chat. I have quite the grin. I am very happy to see this. Not because the situation is good, but because maybe finally my joking rants about Mormonism are taken more seriously. Because let's be clear. Let's be clear. My criticisms of Mormonism go much farther than these motherfuckers drink dirty soda and make crumble cookies. Okay, what is it about the Mormons you love? Okay, if you're not a regular viewer of these streams, let me give you a little bit of let me let you in on this a little bit, okay? I had like I had like a 3-week period where I had like nothing going on. And I had in my feed a video from a former Mormon about her experience leaving the church. Very interesting, and I started reading more about Mormonism. Not because I was looking to convert, but because I was fascinated Because for those of you that are foreign or not familiar with Mormonism, this is like the American religion. They like it originated here. It probably contains most of what I would consider like the real um cultural American signifiers, which is an indictment in some respects, right? Which is an indictment against all of the country in some respects, but then also in others not so much. Um, but it just has like a confounding set of principles that defy even someone who was raised religious, right? Like I think if you talk to anybody who's in an Abrahamic religion, you as a non-religious person can kind of like, unless you're like a piece of shit, you can like empathize with them. And then also the events that take place in their holy books are so old that that you can go, well, everybody who was alive is dead. You got to understand that Mormonism, the Mormon religion, exists after the founding of the United States of America. Mormonism is that young, okay? Mormonism is so young, the Protestant Reformation happened, okay? The printing press exists, okay? I can't even put into words how befuddling that is, because 9 times out of 10, when there was a religion that came out after the colonization of the Americas, for a long time, and even up until like, the 60s or so, you were making a new fucking religion, okay? You were making a new fucking religion. You were making a cult. Mormonism is a cult, first of all, in my opinion, the same way I would classify the Jehovah's Witness as a cult, or the Nation of Islam as a cult. Especially, by the way, the creator of the Nation of Islam, like the Yaqub people, the people that believe that a fucking black guy invented white people to subjugate the black race, right? Um, that guy said you should read uh dialectics or Dianetics or something, L. Ron Hubbard's book, which, to put it in perspective here, L. Ron Hubbard is the creator of Scientology, the fictitious con artist who created that. Um, Dianetics, yes, Dianetics. Okay. But Mormonism exists in such a weirdly wacky stance, right? So some of the and this does tie in to the Lego stuff, right? And I'll talk about that in a second, but and then we'll go talk more about Mormons, because Reckless Ben is actually on the receiving end of the Mormon theocratic police state, which is insane. Yeah, a lot of former Jehovah's Witness will call it a cult. Absolutely. They engage in a lot of the practices that cults engage in. Absolutely. But one of the funniest things about Mormons, right? The creation of Mormonism, right? Now, they're not allowed to be polygamist anymore, which is why they're not. They are legally that is legally forbidden. Okay. But Mormonism came out of this desire. Now, personally, this is just my personal editorial insight. Joseph Smith and Brigham Young, along with their entire small cadre of co-conspirators that invented the Book of Mormon, and I say that in the most damning sense possible, they wrote this book where basically they said Jesus Christ came to America, and he said that Utah is Zion, is the Holy Land, right? Ergo, we need to go to Zion and forcefully take it over and start a theocratic regime in Utah. Right? And so here's where the US government gets in, right? The United States government says, no, 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 no. This is our land, first of all. Second of all, we have a separation between church and state, buddy. All right? You're not making a fucking country in my country, says the United States government. In my opinion, the entire cadre that was the first generation Mormons were plotting to become despotic leaders in their own theocratic regime, of which they would have been at the top, with Joseph Smith as its prophetic leader. That is my take. Okay, that is my take of what I think. I don't think that Joseph Smith is just a scam artist. I think that there was a delusion of grandeur behind it. And if he could make the money along the way, he would do it. He would fund that, right? Think about it like this. There's a tradition in Mormonism that says that you need to give a large portion of your income to the church, tithes. Tithing in Mormon religion is very important. It's tied directly with your ability to get into heaven, because Mormon belief dictates that only people who are successful get into heaven, right? So they feel if you are successful on earth and you make lots of money, then you will get into heaven. Ergo, when you make lots of money, make sure to give a lot of that to the Mormon church. Now, that would benefit a prophetic God king who runs a theocratic country, would it not? Would it not? Right? Now, again, this is Diesel's crazy thoughts on what he feels about Mormons, but I do think that was part of it. I think these guys had some serious God delusions. Absolutely. Okay? Check DMs for the reality of modern Mormon polygamy. Oh, brother. There's quite a bit here. There's quite a bit here that you have given me. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What is this? A dark turn. Uh-oh. Hold on, let me read this. All right, here's a PBS News article. The prairie dresses, walled compounds, and distrust of outsiders were once the hallmarks of two towns on the Arizona-Utah border are mostly gone. Let's see. Some former members have fond memories of growing up in the FLDS, describing mothers who took out each other's kids and playing sports with the other kids in town. But they say things got worse after Jeff took charge following his father's death in 2002. Families were broken apart by church leaders who cast out men deemed unworthy and reassigned their wives and children to others. On Jeff's orders, children were pulled from public schools, basketball hoops were taken down, and followers were told how to spend their time and what to eat. Started to go in a dark and sinister cult direction. To be clear, I feel that every sect of Mormonism is a cult. IMO, okay. But they are quite, no basketball hoops allowed. And it's not like this stuff is happening in the past, right? But I do think it is kind of crazy to have like a walled LDS type village. Yeah, the fundamentalists. Yeah. Yeah. They don't like being called Mormon, by the way. Yeah, they don't like being called Mormon. You know who's a Mormon? You guys know who's a Mormon? Nick fucking Shirley, chat. Nick Shirley. You know the mentally disabled kid who led to the shooting of American citizens in Minneapolis. Was it Minneapolis? Was it that long ago? It wasn't that long ago. What am I saying? He's a Mormon. He's a Mormon. uh, who's Nick Shirley? He is he's like a chudfluencer who has some weird ties with the United States government. By the way, I don't think we should ever have a Mormon in office, okay? Mitt Romney is in the pocket of the church, brother. All right? There's not a Mormon president who could be. All right? It's not allowed, man. It's not allowed. What do you mean the families were reassigned? Well, we got rid of all those other guys, right? And then we gave the wives to us, the more deserving men. Yeah, so another thing, I kind of glossed over it, but KJ did send the Wikipedia article about it. But this is actually like I what was another thing that influenced my obsessions with Mormons? It was the fucking show American Primeval. If you've never watched American Primeval on Netflix, it's a limited series. You should definitely watch it. It's like 10 episodes. It's very fucking good. But it does touch on some of the Utah War or the Mormon War, right? So the entire thing here is that the United States government was on the back foot about Mormons for a while, right? And one of the things that kind of set things over the edge were the Mountain Meadows Massacre, right? I'll just read the Wikipedia page, right? The conflict primarily involved Mormon settlers and federal troops, escalating from tensions over governments and autonomy within their region. There were several casualties, predominantly non-Mormon civilians. Although the wars featured no significant military battles, it included the Mountain Meadows Massacre, where Mormon militia members disarmed and murdered about 120 settlers traveling to California, with tensions from the Utah War being cited as a contributing factor to the massacre. So, this is something that is featured in American Primeval, by the way. They take some liberties with the way that it is just kind of brought up and discussed, right? But it is a very interesting thing to watch, right? And that is true if you look at the belligerents here. The Mormons had allies that were indigenous, which is crazy to hear, but was the reality of the situation. They were indigenous on both sides of the conflict, right? At the time, different groups of natives were hedging their bets on whether or not the United States would be the one, or whether or not the Mormons would give them the autonomy that they asked for. But either way, both sides were kind of lying to those parties, right? The event, that event was in the first Sherlock Holmes story too. Things haven't been the same since the Warman. God damn. But yeah, man, this is these guys are some serious. These guys are some not mess around motherfuckers, right? Let's to put it Utah as a state and local municipalities of the state of Utah are 100% within the pocket of the Mormon church elite. Okay, that is just the reality of the situation. You are not getting into office in primarily Mormon territory unless you are Mormon. So just to put in to further hammer home that point, and this does tie into Reckless Ben as we get into the more recent stuff. Mormons didn't allow black people and when I say black, I'm referring to all POCs, right? They didn't want any of those people in their temple or their religion. It wasn't until the 1980s that the higher ups in the LDS church said it's okay. And here's the reason that they had that. And this is part of why I feel that Joseph Smith is a little bit more than just some charlatan buffoon, right? Didn't they only stop teaching that in like the 70s? So here's the thing. It's become a bit of a cultural like touchstone in Mormon culture. A lot of Mormons still abide by that cultural rule rather than it being like a real rule that exists. So they still are exclusionary to POCs. They just don't have it in writing, right? But the reasoning for it was thus. When Jesus came to America in the Book of Mormon, he saw two types of people: the holy people and the unwashed, unclean people. And so Jesus went around converting these folk of the New World. And as he did, the sin left their body. Okay. And when the sin left their body, those brown people became white. Yes, yes. It was Jimmy Carter. That was that was like I was like trying to run through my head because it was very recent that a lot of the legal kibosh came down on the Mormons, but I'll pull that up in a sec. Um yeah, the Canaanites. The dark skin was the mark of Cain. Yeah. The Mormons be like, Jesus made them white. Yeah, no, that's actually like on God, no cap, for real, straight up hard on the crumble cookie, brother. Hard on the crumble cookie. I swear by this dirty Dr. Pepper that is in the Book of Mormon. Shit. Mormons must have flipped when they saw the first vitiligo. Yeah, so the standard within the LDS church was we don't want these unwashed folk here in our temple. Mormons were bleeding members, and they laxed their rules on non-white Mormons. And so, like, when you think of Mormons, you think of somebody with blonde hair, blue eyes, tucked in shirt, fucking weird underwear, all of that stuff. That's why. Because culturally, that didn't happen. You didn't have mixed race Mormons. No such thing as a mixed race Mormon. The church is still racist as fuck. Yeah, and to add on to that, even though the church says it's cool, there's a cultural understanding amongst Mormons that they don't want their kids dating black people, colored people at all, ever. Right? So a lot of the times there is a lot of cultural pressure to not do that, or a lot of social ostracization that happens if you do that. All right? Most POC I see being Mormon are light-skinned Latino families. Dude, Latinos are not beating the all right pipeline allegations, man. Oh, God. Yeah, my ex told me a story about how his father's apartment burned down, and the only thing that survived was his Mormon underwear. I shit you not. I. Oh. Yeah, so there's a lot. Mormons have a quite wealthy church. In my opinion, I don't think that they should be tax exempt. Um, to furthermore on that, to furthermore, and yes, and the situation a little bit. Um, this is from ex Mormon, r/ex Mormon, but this is true. President Carter threatened the church with loss of tax-exempt status, and that's why it gave priesthood to blacks. The claim was first made by an anonymous poster on an ex-Mormon forum. I have seen this repeatedly said many times, right? There has been quite a lot from the government. I'm inclined to believe this from things I have seen elsewhere. But there's a lot of it. Oh, and here's this is also the vestments, the temple garments. This is what Mormons wear under their clothes. God. What a look. What a look. Don't even get me started on soaking, guys. All right. Don't even get me started on soaking. We'll circle back around to the Mormons in a bit. Let me get you caught up on the tea, sis. Okay. Oh my God, Diesel, not safe for work warning. People take out loans to pay their tithings, Diesel. Yeah, they do. So, Reckless Ben is quite the character. You've probably seen his work before. He has done tons of crazy stuff. There was the McCaney Manor stuff, which I think is pretty interesting if you've never heard about McCaney Manor at all. It is quite worth a Google. IMO. McCaney Manor these days is basically just a bunch of people torturing strangers in a backyard, okay? Break this story down for us brick by brick. So the TLDW on this first hour and 25 minute and 10-second video is thus. This family had a $200,000 Lego collection, and they had struck a deal with a store called Bricks and Minifigs to essentially sell that Lego collection on the shelves of Bricks and Minifigs. And there would be a cut given back to the... just finish your last video that was addressing Riley, dumb bitch. It's Black Friday. Just want to say thank you for talking on it. That was my first time hearing about Riley. And she coming in and being like, thank you for talking about this. I've been a Riley... I don't want to say hater, because I think I don't care enough, but a disliker? Is a disliker like a way to put it? I don't like her vibe. Sis has a rancid vibe. She ain't understand the light of empathy and sympathy of others. She hasn't lived life enough to understand that people come from different socioeconomic statuses, which mean that they quite possibly could be suffering from things completely outside of their comprehension. You know, she doesn't understand. She's woke derogatory. Riley said she's making a response and privated the video, of course. She needs to stop, dude. She's gonna double down and blow a hole in her career even worse, but go right ahead, man. Dude, Lilu Dallas multipass stocks are real down. They're real down. But yeah, so this family like basically brokered this deal with this Lego store. Not an official Lego store, right? And from that time, good riddance. No. Riley's not out of the game yet. She's gonna make a response. Now that we know, now if it's coming, it's gonna be a doozy. All right, I haven't checked though to find out about that. So, but yeah, so they break this deal, and eventually the franchisee, because it's a franchise, the franchisee has to shutter their doors, and the store gets sold back to a prior owner in the franchise network of Bricks and Minifigs. And basically the family says, okay, well, if our deal isn't going to be held up by, you know, this new franchise owner, we would like our Legos back. And basically, the story as it goes from there is that this family doesn't get their Legos back. And the company basically gives them the runaround on it, right? And they basically get shortchanged out of their collection, right? This store gets about the $200,000 worth of inventory and then doesn't have to pay it all back or give it back. If they have it, they don't need to pay it back. If they're not going to give it back. And so basically, they have been using everything in their power to keep this family from getting their collection back, which is their collection. And, you know, are shortchanging them out of the deal. Where this gets crazy is basically that the entire system here is stacked in a way where it is working against them, okay? If Bricks and Minifigs as a franchise is based in Utah, is surrounded in Utah, lives and breathes in that state, and any litigation has to happen in Utah, more often than not, the entire system from top to bottom is ingratiated with Mormons, right? And where that gets really finicky is the power that rich, wealthy Mormons could have over the legal system. So if I'm a corporate entity like Bricks and Minifigs and I'm a Mormon business, then the church, and I'm speaking, these are like my thoughts. I don't know for sure if this is going on, of course, but it would behoove the church to protect Bricks and Minifigs because it's such a lucrative franchised business, you know? So I'm not surprised that the police have been acting how they've acted, that they're not willing to give the Legos back, right? That they've basically been harassing the shit out of Reckless Ben. So we won't start with that hour and 25-minute video, but there's a TLDW from Philip DeFranco. The video is also worth watching, but we'll start with after, right? So basically the church doesn't need to do anything. The church sees a Mormon name or someone in their community on their docket, and then an outside entity, and they are biased. Yeah. Reckless Ben is an outside party coming in, so he's just seen as an agitator towards the Mormon way of life. You know what I mean? I know, a person who messaged me. I know. Yeah, I've been completely unfazed. Cops in Utah are just like this, by the way. Yeah, they've tried to blame Reckless Ben for stealing the minifigs. Reckless Ben has tried every which way, some more duplicitous than others, to try and get these Legos back, and none of those things have worked, right? He has tried to, he has made a business called We Steal From Old People. Bricks and Minifigs is the tagline. So you could technically do that, right? So he's tried ways to, bring them to court or basically get them to come to the table and negotiate for this collection back. And they have rebuked him at every single step of the way, right? So he produces this, hour-long video where he's trying to do that. It doesn't work. Bricks and Minifigs responds to that. Again, he goes through a lot of different ways to try and get these Legos back, but we're just going to start from when Bricks and Minifigs responded to his hour-long documentary about how they are piece of shit Mormons.
Well, Bricks and Minifigs officially responded to my Lego video we made about
But yeah, so they made a business called We Steal From Old People. Bricks and Minifigs is just a tagline, you know? Cops in Utah and Delaney Hall sure got a lot in common, huh?
them, and I haven't read it yet, but someone just sent it to me, so I was like, well, let's make a video about this. This is not Lego video part 2. Part 2 is still on my Patreon if you want to check it out. Patreon.com/recklessben. This is just our response to Bricks and Minifigs' response. Okay, should we pull it up? Actually, wait, before we start the video, we gotta talk about our sponsors. This video is sponsored.
That's crazy to get a sponsor on this.
Sponsored by We Steal From Old People.
Oh wait, that's right.
And you can visit us at www.westealfromoldpeople.com. We're actually at We Steal From Old People's headquarters right now. This is our office, and we've been taking phone calls all day. Give us a call.
We would love to steal from old people for you if you want.
Yeah. But we can't take credit for our business model. We're literally just stealing from Bricks and Minifigs. They're the ones that thought of this genius business model, so they get all the credit for this. They posted this on their website. Let's see what they said. Over the past several months, many in our community have seen posts and videos regarding a dispute involving the former Bricks and Minifigs location in Salem, Oregon. We understand the frustration and passion behind these discussions. Do they understand?
I don't think they fully understand.
Because when I went to ask him about this was his response.
Oh, that video's on the docket.
So you guys are holding
Trust
some of our
KJ.
Legos?
No, we're not.
You're not?
No.
You know, that kind of guy would 100% work at a fucking Lego store with a mustache like that. On God. You know, I saw this. Oh no, he's a master builder at Legoland. Because there was I was getting this guy in my shorts for a while. He kind of had like a coiffed, cartoonish hair. And he was like a master builder, and he was like building things, and that was his TikToks. And for like a split second, I'm like, yeah, if that guy would be Mormon. But then I remembered he works at Legoland, so he works at like an official Lego business.
Bricks and Minifigs is built on a community of collectors and families who care deeply about fairness, and that is a value we share. Maybe Bricks and Minifigs just shows their care in a completely different way than most people do, and they show that care by stealing from people.
To be absolutely clear, Bricks and Minifigs does not condone, tolerate, or participate in the exploitation of anyone, especially older adults or vulnerable members of our community. I fucking love that they just specifically put
you know, when you're a company and you have to write a message like that something is so profoundly like fucked in your PR department. Like, I don't. But the Bricks and Minifigs Twitter account has also been talking about this drama. That's a crazy, weird one where they've been making like references to this. Very strange.
especially older adults or vulnerable members of her community.
Wait, if they're not exploiting anyone, especially older adults, why are they stealing from older adults then?
Yeah, you know what's interesting about this? I am very curious what the over-under is on companies like Bricks and Minifigs from a company like Lego. Because they have to have some kind of agreement. Because even though the name is Bricks and Minifigs, when I think of the word minifig, I associate it with the Lego brand, first off, rather than I do with some like third-party retailer that is themed around Legos. So like, if this is bad, I wonder if Lego would be okay doing wholesaling to Bricks and Minifigs. Because like, if you don't represent the brand as like a vendor of their product, why would they give that to you? Or why wouldn't they litigate against you? Like, this is something that in some respects, many less than, you know, well-read people might think that Bricks and Minifigs is an extension of the Lego Corporation, right? I don't know, like, a lot of that seems very like shaky, you know? It's like if you had like a tabletop store named like James Jerk Shop or something. I don't know. You know, it's just like too close for comfort, and you're doing the same thing but not making it any different and making all these like scandalous agreements. Yeah, it's very, very odd. And usually when you do, like, when you talk to a vendor like that and you're like, I want to buy wholesale from you to resell your products in my store, there's usually a lot of like things you got to abide by, right? Like, you sign a contract with the store or with the company, and they have all these things that need to be met, right? So I can talk about this, right? So like, for example, have you ever gone into a tabletop store and seen Warhammer themed shelves? You know, the ones that have like embossed, engraved Warhammer 40K logos on it? There's a whole bunch of things that you need to specifically agree to in order to get one of those shelves, right? For example, I can't put any non-Games Workshop items on those shelves. It is against the terms of our agreement. So I don't do that, right? Conspiracy theory, Lego is bought and paid for by the Mormons. Nah, man, they're like Swiss or something. They don't do that shit over there or whatever. How does Japan go about those model selling businesses? I assume they're similar to that. I mean, it depends on the company, right? So like some companies you talk to directly, Danish, okay, yeah. So some companies you talk to directly, others you talk to a warehouse, right? So like, for example, I don't buy Magic cards from Wizards of the Coast. I have an agreement with Wizards of the Coast as a Wizards Play Network store, and that communicates and talks to a East Coast warehouse that only does tabletop items, including Magic, Pokemon, and everything in between, right? So we'd get higher up on the priority and allocation list because we're a Play Network store, and because we have a connection to the warehouse, right? But that agreement is different as well, right? Like everything you see in a store, if the store is like not a franchised big box store, somebody had to sit down, contact that company, and then make an agreement to put that item in the store. Even for some of those big box companies, they had to do that, right? There's like a legal department that handles all that stuff, right? And that it all works logistically with this incredibly complicated system. But yeah, it's Bricks and Minifigs seems like they're skirting really close up against a lot of the Danish values that Lego probably has.
That seems like a weird way to not exploit old adults.
Yeah. When a complex business dispute is reduced to edited social media clips, critical facts are often lost. While we will not litigate this online, which they are currently doing, we want to clarify the core situation.
Okay, so I see what they're saying. So right now they're saying this is all a big misunderstanding. Ben has edited these clips to make us look bad, but we're not really bad. Now, for the rest of this article, we're going to share our side that Ben left out, is what I'm assuming they're saying here, right?
Sounds like it.
Maybe we were wrong. Maybe Bricks and Minifigs is right, and we should give them a chance to share their side of the story. So let's see their side. So it says the reality of the consignment claim. Much of the online narrative centers around a private consignment arrangement allegedly made by a former Salem store. It is vital to understand that Bricks and Minifigs Corporate was not a party to this alleged agreement, nor were subsequent franchises who took the ownership of the Salem location after the former owners were removed. So Bricks and
So this is also like really thorny from my perspective as like an owner, right? Because like if you own a franchised business, right? I could see Bricks and Minifigs kind of like turning their screws on some consignment agreements, especially if they didn't get a cut of it, right? Because if you're a franchisee, you probably have to pay like franchisee fees and like all of these other really specific things, right? And so I feel like even them not cooperating now is them being like, well, we were left out of this deal and we took it over. So like, really, we could just keep these, right? Or them, you know, belligerently using their position to keep it, right? But there's like so many things that you kind of get roped into as a franchisee that if you're like a business owner, I can't see why you would want to do that, right? You get like in some respects, I get why, because you get built-in logistics, you get built-in branding, you get built-in connections to like marketing and all of these other things. But then, you know, in the same breath, at least for me and my experience as like an entrepreneur, like your hands are kind of tied quite a bit, right? Like let's say you're somebody who opens up like a Subway, right? Like you're a franchisee for Subway. Subway's had this problem where They don't communicate with franchisees. They don't provide marketing material. They don't help franchisees succeed. Okay. And then as a result of that, some franchisees will complain that they're struggling, and really Subway corporate just goes, we don't fucking care, whatever, right? And as a result, a lot of these people that were like really hardworking, saved up money, and they're like, I saved up money, I'm gonna start a business, I'm gonna do that. It's probably easier if I do a franchise instead of my own sandwich shop. It'll get me in on the ground floor. I'll understand the sandwich market better if I do it this way than do it on my own, because there's a lot of things that you'd have to add on to that list if you're not a Subway that you gotta do on your own, right? But then also you get roped into all of Subway's problems. You know, if you're your own sandwich shop, if you're your own deli, you don't need to worry about Jared Fogle. But if you're a Subway's franchisee in the early 2000s, you need to fucking worry about Jared Fogle on your fucking window.
After the former owners were removed. So Bricks and Minifigs does have a point here. The previous owner, according to Bricks and Minifigs franchise.
Yeah, I know a few people who own McDonald's, and it's expensive, and you're not really the boss. You just own a store. Yeah. Like, that's one of the things where I'm like, well, that doesn't really seem like the thing, the dream, right? The dream is not that, right? The quote unquote American dream, right? I should just say you also work insane hours if you're on your own boss. Okay, you have work all the time.
Franchise agreement, they're not supposed to do consignments. They're supposed to buy the Legos and then sell them. So I think the old owner broke the rules. However,
I think the old owner broke the rules. Yeah, that's what I agree with Ben. I think if my musings about business have gotten you to understand anything, that is something I think is true. But then in the same breath, you know, it would behoove a company like Bricks and Minifigs to just reimburse this man his $200,000, right? If we look at the like revenue and possibly even the profit, if we look at the profit that Bricks and Minifigs Incorporated makes as a corporation with all their franchisees, they could probably front the $200,000 and kits that they may have sold, or any of these things that they need to reimburse this person for, because the result of this is a humongous reputation hit, right? Think about it. How many of you would go into a Bricks and Minifigs franchise location now because you know about this? Why would you spend your money at a place like that when this is the reputation they have, you know? Yeah, but corporate should still follow the contract because it would still be valid even though it wasn't approved by the company. Yeah, absolutely. Or like I said, at the very least, give the guy his stuff back, because the alternative is a humongous reputational hit, which is what has happened.
This does not, basically what this is called a whataboutism, is what they call it in politics. Basically, Bricks and Minifigs is saying, well, to take the focus off the bad thing we did, look, the previous owner also did something bad too. So because she did something bad, that makes, I mean, it just makes both of them bad. It doesn't make them, this doesn't prove their innocence. But we'll keep reading. Maybe, I mean, this is just the first paragraph. Corporate did not assign, approve, or authorize this arrangement, which is further proof of why they should not have the Legos in the store. If this is something that the brand doesn't do, if Bricks and Minifigs doesn't do consignment deals, then they should just give the Legos back, right? There's no reason for these Legos to be in their store. They didn't pay for them. They're not doing a business deal with Brian anymore. So just give them back. Easy solution. Franchisees operate independent businesses. While they must follow system standards, the franchisor does not automatically inherit responsibility for private, unauthorized agreements a local owner may enter into. This is basically corporate saying, hey, we can't control our franchises, exactly. Right?
Yeah.
And then, but the problem is when you go to the franchises, they say, well, corporate told us to do this.
Who's supposed to be getting a hold of corporate?
In the security camera footage, corporate's the one taking over the store.
Seeking facts over narratives. Serious claims require serious evidence. I do agree. We both agree with that.
Yes.
We have repeatedly asked for the original documents and undoctored recordings that support these accusations. So yeah, isn't that funny? Did we try to get the evidence over to you guys?
Yeah, did I remember that time when I had all the evidence in my hand and I walked into the store and I just said, "Hey, here's all the evidence. I'm not judging you. Let's figure this out." And what did they do?
Can we have like a clip like playing right now?
Yeah, let's roll the clip.
Well, so here's still all of the Lego sets you guys still have.
I don't have anything to do with that, and I don't want that. You can go ahead and leave, and I'm going to ask you one more time. This is the last time. I do not want that. You're not handing me anything.
I tried for a long time just to get her to look at this contract.
Why do you think your friend would be entitled to our inventory?
What's his? He owns the Legos.
Huh? He doesn't own the Legos.
Well, yeah, we have a contract.
Oh my god. To be fair, the previous owner didn't feel comfortable leaving the store until the consignment was fulfilled. The new store owner told her he'd take over it while kicking her out. Yeah, and he didn't follow through on it. They have done this to other people. It can just be these people they screwed over. Yeah.
He does own them.
No, bro, are you an idiot? Are you stupid?
Probably, if you represent any corporate business, do not talk like that on a phone. Never, ever, 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 ever talk like that, okay? If you are the legal liaison regarding contracts for a business and you talk like that on the phone, you are instantaneously making yourself look like a humongous fucking buffoon. You should be putting on your best customer service attitude and politely telling them no. What a hilariously unprofessional business, dude. Holy shit. Unprofessional as fuck. Unprofessional. Disgustingly unprofessional. Oh, man.
Josh, the police are showing up right now.
Oh, that was a good clip. I guess this clip is them begging for us to give them evidence.
It
right?
sounds like it.
And that we were the ones that refused to give them the
It
evidence.
makes no sense. They literally go, "We have repeatedly asked." Okay, that's bullshit. Selective social media posts and investigative style videos are not a substitute for the complete records and legal agreements that govern the rights of all involved parties.
Okay, let's put all the evidence right here. We got the consignment deal. We got the full inventory list that the Bricks and Minifig store made that shows which sets were
By the way, this guy straight up told Ben, "Why don't you sue me? That if you think I'm wrong, sue me." It said the literal magic words.
sold, which sets are still in the store, and which sets Brian has not been paid for. This was an inventory list made by the store. Here's the security camera footage of corporate knowing there was a consignment deal.
These are ones that he has not been paid his percentage yet.
I feel like this is, okay. I'm gonna say some things here as a business owner, okay? So have you guys ever gone to a mall that's dying? Have you gone to a dying mall? The answer to that question is probably yes. Inside a mall near me, there is a few stores that do Pokemon reselling, right? And they sell Pokemon cards, and you walk into the store, and the walls are like kind of weirdly empty. And not only are they weirdly empty, they have a lot of those like rat cage hangers for like items on the walls, and this like weird AI posters of Goku and fucking dumpling plushes and like Labubu boxes and fucking vape shit behind the counter and imported Japanese drinks. Have you those things, right? Right? You see a store like that, and you go in, and everything's fucking overpriced and like weirdly underfurnished. Like it's underfurnished. It's weirdly overpriced. It's the atmosphere is not inviting or warm. It is like boring and miserable and just like a shit place to go and buy something that you're interested in, you know? And then like the person behind the counter is like fucking hitting their cotton candy vape right before you walked in, right? So it smells like artificial candy flavor. The one worker is on their phone on the other side of the store. Yeah, and it's like weirdly empty. And there's like no floor displays that fill out any of the space in between you and them. It's just you walk in through the door or the entryway, the vomitorium of this business. There's product on this side, on this side. In the wall is an ugly graphic tee from their printer machine in the back, right? Like right? Like we've seen this disgusting store before. We've seen this terrible, terrible monument to our sins. So, Bricks and Minifigs looks like that. The inside of the store looks like that. It doesn't look super inviting, okay? There is a clinical creepiness to its fluorescent overhanging heads, like lights. The walls are weirdly barren and strangely furnished. Okay. Everything is a little too encased in glass. There is no sense of play in these stores. If you've walked into a Lego store, you know the difference in vibe. You know, that's Utah culture. Well, no wonder you people are Mormon. I don't know if you're in Utah, but you know, it's like it's weirdly empty and uncomfortable because I've been into a Lego store and the lights in a Lego store are warm and inviting. I've been into a Lego store in a mall, right? And the lights are always warm and inviting. The like middle of the store is made up of this play area that has a bunch of like the green peg, and then you know you could place bricks on it and build stuff, and so there's always something that some child made, right? Some object of their, you know, that they just made up, right? And in the back of the store is this big wall of Lego peg containers that hold bricks of various colors, and then the walls are floor to ceiling with Lego sets. And maybe there's one or two cases of beautifully made dioramas, or like even the beautifully made kits that you can buy in a store. But like the energy in a Lego store is like almost like they strategically designed it to reinforce the identity of Lego, right? To reinforce the things that make it exciting and fun and inviting. But like this was almost like this store was designed in the way that like somebody who doesn't play with Legos would design a Lego store. Do you know what I mean? Right? Like this feels like it's designed by some like cynical, like weird boomer who understands the financial value of Legos but doesn't understand what makes Legos so marketably fun. It's like a candy store but for Legos. Yes.
And if I don't have the tickets, I won't know how much I need to pay.
That's a business thing and not necessarily yours. He's taking on the business, he takes on all that consignment.
Here's all the metadata timestamped pictures of the sets that were still in the store when the owner got kicked out. I've printed all of this proof out and tried to give it to them, and this was their response.
You could go ahead and leave now.
Really?
So you could go ahead and leave now, or I will call the police for harassment.
Well, I'm not harassing you.
No, you are.
Wow, that was a really good clip.
Yeah.
It shows exactly what they wanted, which was obviously to talk to you. If a legitimate claim exists, there are...
All the real Lego stores I've been in are all like directed towards kids. Yeah, but counterpoint. Lego knows that all of their business is not made up of children anymore, which one is why Lego sets are so expensive now. And two, why there's so many model making kits for Lego. But the identity of Lego didn't need to change to do that. You see what I mean?
establish legal and dispute resolution processes to handle it fairly, attempting to force a business outcome through public pressure, especially on unrelated stores and employees.
Yeah, like Lego sells you the vibe over a toy. Most Lego people buy from nostalgia. Yeah.
A productive or fair path forward.
Basically what they're saying is, let's figure this out the legal way. Well, we did what he said, actually. We did sue him and we won. And then
so wait, if they were trying to resell these things already, why were they particularly against following the contract for this unless they wanted to steal it from someone? They've probably done this before. They've probably shortchanged consignment deals from people before. And Ben just happened to catch it this time, right? And get involved in it. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a problem that has pre-existed before this. Absolutely not. Think about it. If you get $200,000 worth of inventory and then you can come up with a way to not have to pay a cent on that, why the fuck wouldn't you? Right? It's obviously like really shitty and it's bad. It's bad for business because it's a humongous impact on your reputation. But then you don't need to give any money to any other party. You take away all of the profit, and you didn't need to put in a wholesale order with Lego. And some of the sets could be sold at a higher value because they're old sets. So you could make more money from it. Like, you basically just walked in and stole somebody's collectible investment. You know? Because I've been working on a video for Mana Potion Tabletop. And it's been about the collectibles market. If you are a store and you work out a consignment deal and then you can find out a way to get out of that consignment deal, some of the times these collectibles are humongously expensive. And you didn't have to pay any upfront cost to put it in your inventory. That's an insane deal, right? Like I'm a small retailer, right? So we can't sell. So like, say somebody sells me a Magic card that's $30. I can't give you $30 in liquid cash right there. So the agreement in my store is you could take 55% of its value in store credit now, right? Or 50% on a gift card and use it later. So what a lot of people do is they will sell me their card, and in return, I sell them something else, right? Or various other means, right? So a lot of it will work like that because we just don't have enough cards to, or liquid capital just flowing to just give people money on something that might change in value later. So the agreement is that, and that's what we do.
they didn't like the legal way. Bricks and Minifigs was the one who didn't want to do it the legal way. Do you know why?
Why is that?
Because this is what happened when we won.
But yeah, if I got like $200,000 worth of collectibles, and then I had like some way that I could not pay a dime on that, a lot of business owners and ones that aren't doing super well or might be underperforming would be incentivized to do something like that, even if it is duplicitous.
They closed down their entire store because Bricks and Minifigs did not want to do the legal way. Okay. Bricks and Minifigs stores is a private business with the right to protect their premises. We will continue to support our owners in prohibiting disruptive conduct or harassment. This is not about silencing criticism. It is about, oh, they're not trying to silence criticism. I feel like Bricks and Minifigs is doing whatever they can to silence criticism. And if you don't believe me, watch part 2.
Moving forward together, our position remains simple. Bricks and Minifigs Corporate was not a party to the unauthorized Salem Consignment Agreement.
Wait. But they were a party in the theft of the Legos.
Any legitimate claims should be resolved through the proper legal channels where facts can be evaluated fairly. And we already did that.
Yep. So, facts can be evaluated. We put all of the documents on the screen.
We ask our fans and creators to consider the human impact of the content they share. Fairness is a two-way street. It requires looking at the full picture and respecting the rights of unrelated small business owners and their staff.
So I understand that they're like a franchise business, but that's such an appeal to emotion there. So like, yeah, obviously the Salem location of Bricks and Minifigs is his own business ran by a small business owner, the franchisee in that situation. I don't know if Bricks and Minifigs is a publicly traded company. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that it probably isn't. But if Bricks and Minifigs has more than 20 locations across the United States, they are not a small company. Okay? They are at least a medium-sized company. All right? And they are quite a large company then, with probably a corporate headquarters that does all of the bookkeeping. So I don't know if I would quantify you as a small business.
I mean, shouldn't they care about people below them?
This doesn't say how they're moving forward. Moving forward should be.
And they're in the pocket of the Mormons. Yeah, the ultimate end angle here is that this is like a scheme by the Mormons. They have over 300 stores. Yeah, well then they are by no means a small corporate entity. Okay. Yeah, it's like saying Dutch Bros is a small company. Yeah. Dude, I thought Dutch Bros and Dunkin' Donuts were the same company for a while, but they're not. And I did not know that. I don't have any Dutch Bros over here.
Let's give Brian his Legos back, right?
Yeah. We love the Lego community and the creativity it fosters.
Well, they're making the Lego community look really bad, so until they give Brian his Legos back, they're just going to keep making the Lego community look terrible.
Yeah, not to mention the harassment that's happening is all of corporate's fault to begin with, so they don't get to pull that card. Yeah, if anything, the franchisees are suffering at the hands of a malignant corporate that is refusing to negotiate on such a small deal.
You think those who have
so Bricks and Minifigs are owned by the Mormon Church? Yes. This is listen, okay, to be clear, to clarify here, they would never say that Bricks and Minifigs is owned by the Mormon Church, but I would hazard a guess that the Mormons, so the Mormon Church privately invests in many businesses. I would not be surprised to learn that Bricks and Minifigs is such a business, the same way Crumble Cookie was. A lot of these companies tend to have Mormons in leadership or were founded by Mormons. So this is like one of those things where it's like, I love going to blank business. And then you find out the business is like bankrolled by like a wealthy Scientologist or something like that, where it's not direct, but like there's this cultural connection that means, yeah, they kind of are, but not like literally.
For the facts before accepting rumors as truth.
I think what they're trying to say by this line is that they have the facts and we have the rumors, right? Because we're just trying to promote some narrative when they're the ones that have the facts. But if you look at the situation, it kind of seems like
more. Now, I don't know if Dutch Bros is owned by the Mormons. I don't know if they are, but Mormons have quite the prolific cultural footprint, and it's been getting larger. Okay. Actually, would it shock you that they have the same firm that handles their bookkeeping? Wait, is that the firm you linked me? Is that the same one? No fucking way. Hold on. Wow, hold on. So they're all taken care of by Certus? Oh, no way. No way. We got Bricks and Minifigs and Crumble Cookie. I don't know who Green Harvest is or some of these other ones, but there's no way Dave's Hot Chicken is Mormon, though. I don't believe that. Are Mormons not allowed to drink coffee things or things with caffeine? No, they aren't, but that's why they drink a lot of sugary things, and soda's kind of like, you know, I don't know. I don't know if Great Harvest is Mormon, but I do know that Crumble Cookie is Mormon. Okay. But I would look into the owners of Great Harvest then if you're worried. If you guys are like, is that company owned by Mormons? Look them up. Look them up. Smoothies are a loophole. Yeah, look these companies up. If you look them up and you find out that one of the owners or some of the executive board is Mormon, that's going to give you a bit of a understanding, you know? You'll it's possible. It's possible. Like I said, Mormons are very prolific. A lot of Mormons are very wealthy. A lot of Mormons get into, I mean, Jesus, Brandon Sanderson is a Mormon. Stephanie Meyer's a Mormon. There's a lot of Mormon authors. The firm is run out of Utah, so they're accounting as Mormon at least. I don't know.
Like, we're the ones that have the facts. I mean, we put all the facts up on the screens, and he now has a narrative with no evidence.
Yeah, exactly. Literally,
So-
just like 4 or 5
Which way, Western man? Mormon Mafia crumble cookie or IDF Starbucks latte? Bro, I can't go to any store without some guy who commits war crimes getting $5 from me, dude.
paragraphs with no evidence.
Oh, thank God, Great Harvest isn't owned by Mormons. Yeah, but their accounting firm is in Utah.
Whatsoever. We thank those who have waited for the facts before accepting rumors as truth and who continue to support their local Bricks and Minifigs franchise stores.
Okay, here we go. Because this matter involves active legal issues, we will provide further updates only when it's appropriate and legally permissible to do so. So basically what they're saying is like, we're not going to respond again. And they're saying it's because we can't legally do it. Their legal issues are with me. Like we've already been to court, like I think 3 times. I can share my side. Why can't they share their side? And unless their side would get them in a lot of legal trouble and they could go to jail, I guess, is why. Actually, it makes sense now why they can't share their side.
You get both hand in hand because Zionists are loved heavily by LDS people. Ah, damn it.
Bricks and Minifigs is saying, yes, we have all of Brian's Legos in our store. No, we didn't pay for them, but we would, and their answer for that is, we would never try to exploit an old man. But it seems like that's what they're doing. They're exploiting an old man. So I think a better response would be
so true. So many places in Utah and Idaho have the name Zion in it.
Why do you have these Legos in your store without paying for them? That would be an explanation, right? Like
the next speedrunning trend should be the Mormon Church. I would like to formally introduce a new proposal into the scenario. I mean, we should totally do that, number 1. But number 2, I would like to recommend data centers as the next speedrun challenge. This would be a great time to promote the independently owned coffee company, Mana Potion Coffee. That's so true. So, you know, I hear Mana Potion Coffee has fair trade and USDA organic coffee. Isn't that cool? Fair trade means that it wasn't made with slave labor. It means that everybody got paid a fair amount.
Like that would be good. But they won't
Yeah, Mana Potion Coffee, not owned by Mormons. Yep, that's also a big one.
be able to do that because what they would be doing is they're explaining what stealing is, and that's what Bricks and Minifigs did. And especially not just stealing, but stealing from an old person, which is who Bricks and Minifigs like.
You're not gonna believe who showed up at my door before seeing this title. Guys, they're everywhere, man.
To steal from the most.
And can you use D10 at checkout? I mean, I don't know if you can anymore, man. The overhead on coffee's getting pretty tight, I will not lie. My hometown is building a second temple, and the day it opens, they let everyone in. That's the day to speedrun them. Well, that's the easiest day to get in. It has to be a little bit of a challenge, you know? You know, you kind of got to get through the door on just a normal day, you know?
There's also one more thing. So there's this other guy. It's like there's a Lego store like a couple blocks. It's like literally like right down the street from Bricks and Minifigs. It's called Bricks and Beyond. And this guy's getting a bunch of hate from my video because people are confusing his store with the Bricks and Minifigs store. Yeah, but the problem is this guy runs like a super ethical Lego store. And should we give him a call right now, actually?
It's very similar in names. It is not related to Bricks and Minifigs at all.
First off, do you enjoy stealing from old people?
That is not what we do.
Oh, see, so basically everyone that's giving you harassment then is basically mixing up the two stores is what you're saying.
Essentially, yeah.
Yikes. Did you hear last year the Mormon women are finally given their own church-approved underwear? Ah, that's so great. Oh my God. As a coffee roaster, I can back you up. It's tough right now. Dude, the tariffs, the global economy is really tightening the belt. We haven't raised our prices on coffee yet, but it's getting really, really hard not to. Okay, like we've had to have less just overall. You know, we still turn a profit, but like it is actually insane. It is insane. Fucking idiot had to go to war with Iran. Fucking idiot. Like all of a sudden, every fucking thing I buy is now more expensive. Yeah. So that is that, and now here's the next bricks and minifigs part. Just going right into it. Okay, I really can't wait until we get to the arrest one because I have some videos about the Mormon police, which should be a fun aside.
Corporate Bricks and Minifigs sent out an email to all of their lower franchises, basically instructions on how to deal with our documentary we made about them. And
I really hope the economy gets better 2 years later. Yeah, I'm hoping it gets better in the next 6 months because motherfucker, my student loans are killing me. I'm so fucking mad. Dude, they sold me this whole degree stuff when I was 18. I was fucking scammed.
we got a hold of this email. The email leaked online.
And now we're just gonna read through this. I haven't seen this at all, so dear franchisees, as most of you are aware, our network is currently facing a coordinated negative PR.
Wow, negative. Ooh, okay. Well, first of all, the people in charge of this business must be really fucking stupid. If you are a company facing public pressure from news coverage, why in God's name would you put something out like this? Of course, the person covering it was going to get the email. Do you think all of your franchisees are on the same exact like that they're on the same exact page as you? Are you fucking kidding me?
Stemming from a former franchisee's consignment dispute in Salem, Oregon. A YouTuber, Reckless Ben, has released multiple videos amplifying this narrative, which has unfortunately led to harassment calls, review bombing, and store disruptions across our network.
So right away, I like
you guys
how
know
they say
why I
it's
said
coordinated.
specifically 2 years later, right? Yeah, well, yes. Yes, but something should happen sooner is what I'm saying.
And like, oh, all the big streamers are working together now, and like all these people that are talking about it.
Well, the crazy part of this is the more bricks and minifigs kind of pushes their hand on this, the worse it gets for them. Like this is like quite literally a textbook example of the Streisand effect. Like I'm sitting here talking about the Mormon connection between bricks and minifigs, and you know, duplicitous behavior, right? Bad behavior. And I'm making the connection between the LDS Church, Mormons, or LDS and bricks and minifigs. It's doing nothing but hurting their brand.
It's all a big conspiracy against us.
So he goes to a franchise Lego store in Salem, Kaiser, Oregon. It's called Bricks and Minifigs.
Them stealing multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of Legos from at least Brian.
And a video by Reckless Ben, political corruption, a company stealing $200K from an old man.
The reality of the situation, though, is that Bricks and Minifigs did such
what's Hassan's take on the bricks and minifig situation? I know he's busy being indicted by the United States government, which is a waste of everybody's time, but that's besides the point. But can you please comment on this? I need to know.
Terrible thing that a lot of people want to talk about it.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, it's not like we're all coordinating to take down Bricks and Minifigs. It's just Bricks and Minifigs does such an evil action that everyone on the internet wants to weigh in. Oh wait,
you don't
one more
care.
thing. I forgot to address.
Listen, man, we gotta seize the means of our brick construction. You know what I mean? Yeah, I need to know whether or not Hassan is pro or anti B&M.
Where we're at right now.
If you don't address it, you're sweeping. Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
We are definitely in America. As you can see behind me, we are in St. Louis, Kansas.
Do you think Destiny would say that Bricks and Minifigs has a right to keep the Legos themselves? I mean, they got there, you know, they should be allowed to keep it.
the city. Basically, we found out that if you have a warrant,
dude, think about how much Destiny could improve his age play with Lauren Southern if he was able to get the Legos back, man.
for your arrest and you flee the country, that's actually super illegal.
Exactly. We're all
The Legos were the Legos were promised to them. The Legos, you're so right. Bro, take me to Zion right now. Zion, Utah, not the other one.
percent not in Mexico at all right now.
As you can see, and you can tell exactly where we are by the background. The
Does Destiny play with Legos when he age regresses? We need to play with Duplos. Do you think Ethan thinks Bricks and Minifigs is a nice place that's very diverse and welcome? Oh shit. How will Bricks and Minifigs drama affect Tipster's legacy? Oh shit, I don't know, man. I don't know. That's a good question.
background. We want to give everyone a clear recap of exactly what corporate is doing behind the scenes to protect you guys. What we can expect regarding a life cycle of this situation.
Is Utah the Lego Israel of the modern world? Do you? I want that is an insanely funny chat because it is so absolutely ridiculous. You know who I bet loves Bricks and Minifig's stance on having multiple partners? Falgi. Oh my god. Look, I'm just saying there are some connections between Brigham Young and Falgi. I'm just saying. But what does Lilu Dallas Multipass think about the Bricks and Minifig situation? Okay, Lilu Dallas Multipass would say that, you know, the yellow skin on the Lego minifigs is an enabler of colorism here in the United States, and that nobody should be allowed to build Legos, only her, because she's the only one who can play with Legos wokely. We's the only one that can play with Legos wokely.
And how we can work together as a team to move on from this defense to offense. No longer are we just going to
bro, Bricks and Minifigs is polling their franchisees. They're like, hey, my local franchisees, our reputation is being just absolutely fucking obliterated right now. Got any ideas? My franchisees, corporate's at a loss for words. What should we do? Listen, Bricks and Minifigs, just do what every other company does and get McKinsey Consulting to come in and blow the heads schmoove off some whistleblower, okay?
To defend our actions, we're going to try and take Reckless Ben down.
Dang.
So now we have the leaked documents of how they plan on taking me down.
While we will not litigate this matter in the media, we are taking aggressive action behind the scenes.
Why not do it in the media, you know? If they have nothing to hide and they actually are the innocent one.
Lego is Asian fishing with yellow figures. I never understood that as like a racist caricature of Asian people, by the way. It's so confusing to me because they're not that color at all, and that's just wrong.
Why not do it in the public? Because then if they make it
Hey,
public...
Diesel, you think you can do a Trump impression of his thoughts on Bricks and Minifigs? First, we're going to ask a very valuable question. Do we think the President of the United States is pro or anti Bricks and Minifigs? It's a strange question, because on one hand, he wants to appeal to the hard-working Lego builder, but then on the other, he's basically 100% in the pocket of corporate America. So he's pro. Okay. Okay, he's Mr. President, Mr. President. Can we hear your thoughts on the bricks and minifig situation in which a man has had his Legos taken by a franchised Lego business?
I'd never heard about that. That's well, you know, it's always the mainstream media. They're always asking me. They're always trying to get me in a gotcha. You're awful people, you know, they're awful.
Hold on, let me take a sip of water.
You know, my son, Baron, he loves it. He loves Legos. Why would he take them away? I like bricks and minifigs. I like them. They're great people, you know. I don't know about this other guy. Seems like a sore loser. I don't like that. You know, I asked Baron, I asked him, do you play with Legos? He said yes. I know bricks and minifigs needs my support. You know what they do there? You know what they do? They build walls. Something I've done. I've built great ones. They do it pretty okay themselves.
Mr. President, how do you plan to rectify the shortage of Pokemon cards?
I've been thinking about Guardivar. I've been thinking about him. And I think that we need to legalize low bunnies.
Stupid. My Trump accent isn't as good today because I've been drinking a lot of caffeine. It's fucking strains my vocal cords.
The public will see that they have nothing to hide, or they're gonna do it behind
Did you misgender a Pokemon? First of all, men can be Guardivars. Okay. I need Mom Dami's opinion on bricks and minifigs. You know what the worst part is? I could see some motherfucker asking the mayor of New York his opinion on that. Like, on God, I could see that happening.
because they know that they're only suing us in order to silence us. Oh, keep going. Sorry,
all right. Corporate was not involved in this specific local consignment issue.
Wait. Don't we have them on video saying they're going to be taking the consignment over?
He's taking on the business, he takes on all that consignment.
So that person on the phone is actually one of the people from the corporate offices that says, we are taking over the consignment now. This is a corporate issue. This is corporate lying to their franchisees right now.
Corporate was not.
This is what it feels like as me with my internet provider, right? They had to reopen my case again, but I'm just going to let them close the case because they've been so unhelpful. And now that they want to like reopen my case again, they say that the problem must be coming from inside the house and not with infrastructure, which is like really fucking infuriating because we've already done all the inside the house things. They just keep like recircling back to the fact that I'm not using one of their fucking routers. So like corporate's entire job is just to like try and, you know, push you out from getting what you want.
Involved in this specific local consignment issue, and we are holding firm on the fact.
What does Rama Duaji, Mom Dami's wife, what's her opinion on the bricks and minifig situation? How many degrees of separation do we need to go before we don't ask somebody's opinion on this?
I kind of feel bad for the franchise owners here.
When I think of the two great American tragedies happening right now, I think of bricks and minifigs and the war in Iran.
We are showing so much evidence of these things that are happening, and then corporate saying, hey, all this evidence, you can't believe it because we have the facts. We're not going to show you the facts, but we have the facts. And now as a franchise owner, you have to think, okay, do I believe the side with all the evidence and get fired? Because if they take our side with the evidence.
What's Jerma's opinion? Best advice, if any Mormon or Jehovah's Witness ends up with you, talk their ears off. My mom did this. Never even got a word in. That's crazy, dude. That's crazy. You know, we haven't asked the greatest New Yorker their opinion on the Bricks and Minifigs drama. Well, what's your opinion? Okay, first of all, the greatest New Yorker is a big toss-up between Vinny Vinesauce and Curtis Sliwa's 14 Cats.
And they get fired, or do I just take the side that claims they have the facts but don't have the facts, and then this way I don't get fired? Yeah, so corporate's kind of putting all their franchises in a really bad situation right now, and it kind of sucks because it's like, I actually like Bricks and Minifigs. I think there's a lot of innocent franchises out there that didn't do anything, but corporate's just saying like, we don't care about our franchises. We're gonna screw over all our franchises.
Is it Curtis Sliwa the Nightmare? I don't even know what he's doing. He's just kind of hanging around. He's just kind of doing stuff.
Corporate's doing that, and we're trying to help.
Dude, we need Gavin Newsom's opinion. Dude, you know what would happen? Dude, Gavin Newsom would call up Atriox, and he'd be asking Atriox how it affects gamers.
Corporate do the right thing right now, so the innocent franchises don't get screwed, but corporate's just screwing everything up for these innocent franchises right now by doing this. Law enforcement and federal involvement. We are actively working and sharing records with local police. Oregon.
What would Jar think about this? Well, first of all, Weaver, it's too early. Jar can't give his opinion on this because he needs to wait for the dust to be settled so he can make a definitive opinion on it. All right? Jar needs all the dust to settle so he could performatively act like he was on the right side of history all the time. You know how those people be like, oh man, if Jim Crow was around today, I would be against it. Just like if I was alive back in the 60s for Jim Crow, I would be against it. Jar's that type of guy who would be like, I would be against it because he doesn't have to go through it. Meanwhile, you put Jar in that scenario and he's like, I love Jim Crow. Yeah, separate everyone.
State police, the FBI, and USPIS. So basically, Bricks and Minifigs is getting the FBI involved. Legal action. Our legal team is preparing direct claims and seeking a TRO, a temporary restraining order, to halt the harassment and push this matter to full litigation against all parties. So basically, I think what they're trying to say here is they're trying to get...
He would make a pro B&M and an anti B&M video, and whichever one the public settles on, he posts that one, which is probably the reality of the situation.
Some type of order where we can't post anything about them on social media. And so they're like, oh, well, if we can somehow silence them, then we can get away with our crime, is what they're basically saying. And we can see this because in my last video, they put random like copyright claims and privacy complaints over the entire video of scenes where it's literally just like me and you hanging out with each other. And like, did you want your face blurred in the video?
No.
Well, I can speak for myself. I didn't want my face blurred in the video, so.
Would someone leak the other one too? Yeah, another Lego creator would. Dude, they want to involve U.S. postal inspectors. Dude, they have like more important stuff to be doing.
Bricks and Minifigs is basically doing a bunch of weird stuff to try and get my videos taken down, and they said in their last.
What does Goosework think about this? Yeah, I need to know what Goosework thinks about this so I can pretend to think that Goosework said the exact opposite thing of what Goosework said.
Response, it wasn't to silence criticism, but that's kind of what it seems like it is. Issuing cease and desist demands regarding unauthorized website they created. So basically, we made a website called www.westealfromoldpeople.com. Basically, Bricks and Minifigs is suing us because we're copying them, I think. So they
it's Chick-fil-A a gay.
Really upset at the fact that we decided to also steal from old people, and Bricks and Minifigs was like, hey, that's our thing. Only we can steal from old people. Bricks and Minifigs.
Yeah, what did No, that's exactly how it would be worded. What did Goosework think about this in 2016? Interesting how Goosework was quiet about the B&M drama back in 2016. Very strange coming from Goosework. I don't like that.
Wants to have a monopoly on stealing from old people.
Personally, I think Vivzy Pop needs to address the minifigs. Well, actually, if we were asking Vivzy Pop would just turn them into gay evil twinks. And then that would be Vivzy Pop's opinion.
entered the business, they are going to try and send us a cease and desist letter to take our website down. So that way they're the only ones in the game of stealing from old people.
If you have any old people that you want us to steal from, call this number.
I will personally answer all your phone calls. Thank you.
It says the TRO is a preliminary injunction and is valid court order that will get the platforms to remove the content. Basically what they're saying is everything these guys did in their YouTube video was fair use. It was constructive criticism on how we can be a better company. However, we don't like that they caught us in our illegal act. So we're going to go to court and find some crazy loophole that maybe we can take advantage of the YouTube's AI algorithm that is, there's a lot of flaws in the algorithm. So maybe we can take advantage of that and find a loophole to take down their video so people don't get mad at us for what we did. That's basically what this paragraph says. So you wanna read the next paragraph?
Platform takedown.
I want CoffeeZilla's 3-hour video where he somehow gets all the B&M financial records and ties it to the Mormon church.
We have reached out to Google/YouTube, Patreon, GoDaddy, and Facebook to report the specific pages, videos, privacy violations, and a coordinated review.
You're gonna take down my Patreon? What the heck? That sucks.
Oh man.
Well, subscribe now while it's still up. I do want to say this. Part 2, so I'm working as hard as I can right now on part 3. Once part 3 is up in like maybe a week, part 2 will be live on YouTube, and then part 3 will be on Patreon. So part 2 will be on YouTube very soon, don't worry. But as of now, if you want early access, subscribe to Patreon while it's still up.
Policy review. We are actively reviewing internal policies to prevent similar transition issues from occurring in the future. Oh, okay.
So then there is an issue, and so you need to reimburse this fucking guy.
I know what they're talking about right there. So like internal policies. I think they're talking about the consignment deals.
That reminds me of another update. So since the last video, I actually got a hold of the franchise agreement that the previous owner, Crystal, made with corporate. And it says in her contract, it says consignments are allowed.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy sh**.
I mean, that's their #1 argument. And it just says in the contract, like, oh, you can do consignments. So like, what the heck? Corporate sharing any of this internal legal strategy publicly with customers can severely compromise.
Yeah, I read that CoffeeZilla was getting involved. Yeah.
Our active legal case against Ben Schneider. Well, not only did someone share it with a customer, they shared it with me themselves. So, and now I'm sharing it with the world. So take that, corporate. What to expect? The outrage cycle.
Based on historical data.
What to expect?
Export crisis management research. There's a typical cycle to online outrage. Understanding this timeline helps us manage expectations and maintain stability.
Did they pay a company for this? Okay, first of all, this feels like an AI wrote it, this part of the email. The rest of it didn't. But this feels particularly ChatGPT, brother.
Like mathematical with this, like we have
you do not need to make, if they paid for a real crisis management company to tell them that if you do something stupid on the internet, people will talk about it, then they are so out of their depth on understanding crisis management that you need to fire that crisis management company and get a new one.
Calculated every controversy.
Okay.
Current phase.
Okay, initial wave, current phase. Peak intensity typically lasts 3 to 7 days after major videos drop, while the spike in harassment and calls is sharp.
This is an actually insane thing to put in this kind of like email. This is so, imagine you're a franchisee. You run a Bricks and Minifigs. You're not aware of this drama. You run your business. You're just like fucking 40 and you've loved Legos your whole life, and you run a Bricks and Minifigs, and you get an email from corporate with all of this inflammatory, alarmist shit. You'd be like, great gadzooks, I need to find a way out of this. Okay? Like, oh, things are gonna get bad, franchisees. Here's how bad it'll get. It's like, oh, are you a fucking idiot? I would assume I'm about to lose my business. Yeah, I'd be looking for an exit strategy.
Quickly loses steam as online attention naturally shifts. We believe we are currently at or past the peak of the first wave.
I think they sent this out when it had only like 100,000 views on it, and now it's like 1.5 million views or something. Like, and every day it just keeps getting even more views. So corporate, your math is wrong.
Court filing.
Yeah, what I hope that was AI, because this reads like AI and reads as if they wasted money otherwise.
fresh. When we formally file our legal actions, expect a short, renewed spike. Another 3 to 7 days of heightened noise.
They're like, hey, our lawsuit is so garbage, there's going to be outrage, is what they're saying.
Yeah, so just be prepared for it. The opposing side will likely frame our legal defense as silencing the little guy.
Yeah, no fucking shit. What did you pay a person for this? Did you pay it? This has to be AI, because if you paid a person for this, you are so fucking outrageously out of touch.
Well, if it's not silencing the little guy, what is it?
This is a normal, expected reaction, but it is temporary.
It's funny because like these last two paragraphs.
See, if I'm sorry, if corporate America really thinks of this way about the populace writ large, we need to round up all these C-suites, brother. Okay, I can, like, such an unempathetic, almost like, it's such a weird way to discuss that, right? Don't discuss litigation like that with your franchisees. Don't even discuss that. If corporate gets involved in litigation, then you put out saying, we're involved in litigation, it's regarding this. This will be going on for this period of time. And then if there's anything that a franchisee can't talk about, then they can't talk about it. But to put out something like that and say that you knowingly will look like the bad guy, yeah, because you're the bad guy. Like, you sound like some corporate sleaze.
Paragraphs are about like, dude, the wave is going to end if we just be patient. But now Bricks and Minifigs Corporate has just decided to make this go on for like at least 2 more years, because that's how long lawsuits take. So
I guess we have content for the next 2 years on this.
What they say, they said 3 to 7 days is the heightened noise. Now the noise is going from 3 to 7 days to 2 years, and that's all corporate's fault. So you guys are just screwing yourselves at this point. Decay phase, 2 to 4 weeks. Most online outrage fades significantly within a month, assuming no major new fuel.
Assuming no major new fuel? What does that even mean? How could you get an action plan regarding internet discourse and say something like that?
They think this is my only video on them. Like, we have at least like 6 residual mentions may linger in niche Lego and other online communities for 1 to 2 months, but day-to-day operations will normalize much faster. Long-term recovery, 1 to 3 months. Reputation stabilizes. They think their reputation is going to stabilize.
Okay, hold on.
This is like a really bad. Now that's it. Yeah, it feels very AI generated. Granted, you could be a PR person and just write like that. I have to just assume like some idiot person wrote it rather than AI.
It's hot and it's very nighttime in Kansas City. It's crazy how hot it is at nighttime in
action items. How you can help. These are the things that the franchisee owners are going to do to make this better. Please implement the following immediately. Approved response options. Strictly do not engage emotionally.
Oh, that's good advice. That's good.
Yeah, wait.
Yeah, I mean, these things are all like appropriate.
Is this going towards
if you're a franchisee, you probably shouldn't comment on the situation, you know, and you should train your staff. And in the case that like something happens at your store, you know, these are all like understandable, reasonable thing.
CEO, I feel like he was really mad.
This is the CEO going.
I know, but like he was
just be like, I don't know anything about it, man. I'm sorry, I can't really talk about it outside of that. I know they said there's some litigation, but we just can't talk about it right now. That's it.
Very emotional about this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like he's writing this to himself.
The CEO is just telling the franchises, don't do what I did.
Train your staff immediately to use only these approved frameworks based on the situation. We understand our customers are smart, and balancing legal caution with our values helps prevent the appearance of corporal avoidance.
Well, it seems like corporate avoidance is happening right now. They responded within like an hour. We responded, and they have not responded again. So should we give them a way that corporate can respond to prove that they're not doing corporate avoidance? Yep. If you would like to respond, these are the questions everyone wants to know. Question 1. In this footage, corporate says we are taking over the consignment.
He's taking on the business, he takes on all that consignment.
However, you say here, we did not take over the consignment. So on one side, we have proof. On one side, which is your side, we have no proof. why should we believe your side if there's no proof? If you believe a side with no proof, that sounds like something a crazy person would do, and your customers aren't crazy. So right now, your customers are siding with the side with proof. But if you want to take the lead corporate, you can give some proof of why you weren't involved in the consignment. And it also says in the franchise agreement, consignments are allowed, but you say they're not allowed. Can you explain that one? Also, why can't Brian just have his Legos back? You're still keeping them, even though you didn't pay for them. Like, what's stopping you from doing that? Yeah, that's just the main three that come to mind. But if you start with those three,
just give the fucking Legos back. You're killing your reputation. God.
A great way to win back public.
I feel like there's a lot of businesses in the States that are like ran by these kind of like boomery people who just refuse to like call it quits on anything. Like, I bet they also have anti-union training videos. You know, there's definitely like a air of like smugness. You know, there's some real smugness about it.
If you could answer those questions.
Yeah, what would Charlie Kirk think about the Bricks and Minifig situation with or without gang violence?
Okay, so for general frontline staff, quick casual inquiries. Okay. Casual, yeah, casual. Oh wow, wait, these are like quotes. These are quotes that they want them to say. Memorize this. Okay, wait, come at me. Like, ask me a question. Okay, ready?
Hello. I heard your company stole a bunch of money and is not giving it back.
Holding my emotions in. This is a separate independent location, and I don't have any information to share regarding that situation.
Well, you must be correct, and I will leave. Where are Brian's Legos? I'm gonna burn this entire place down.
Yeah, you know, I'll call I am unaware of the specific details of that situation and have no comment at this time.
Well, I guess I better leave then.
Wow, that actually works. We're here to get Brian's Legos back.
Well, I actually have a script ready for you.
Oh, you do?
We are aware of the situation involving another independently owned location, and we understand why people are upset and asking questions. We can't speak to the specifics on an ongoing situation. Bricks and Minifigs does not support behavior that harms trust within our communities. Our local stores remain committed to operating with fairness, transparency, and respect for our customers.
Oh.
Does that answer your question?
Man, okay, well, if that's the case, I guess I'll just...
Well, actually, it doesn't answer the question because it says Bricks and Minifigs does not support behavior that harms trust within our communities. But they're doing that exact same behavior that harms the trust within their communities, which is stealing from old people.
I don't know why you'd want to do consignment with Bricks and Minifigs after this. This seems like... Yeah, that's like people bringing up Dollar General being sued to me at work. No one actually thinks I know anything about it. Yeah.
Exactly.
I guess they think stealing from old people helps the trust, but maybe we have to break them the news that...
If I am a Lego collector, I would not do consignment with them at all. Honestly, this is like definitely like... The more annoying part is that this is like a really great way to like bring more business to eBay. Honestly.
That's actually not a good thing. Okay, Bricks and Minifigs. If you steal from old people, that does not...
Yeah, God, I love seeing corporate ideas and how people speak on issues. It really shows how little they know about the bottom end. Yeah, I don't... Like, none of that is, like, very helpful for anybody who's, like, an employee at one of these Bricks and Minifigs locations, right? Like, obviously be like, I don't know what's going on, you know? Is eBay a bad site? Look, the erosion of like brick and mortar stores is because of online retailers. I mean, I'm not saying that eBay is bad. eBay is just another fucking mega corporation, right? I will say it is very annoying. I have bought things on eBay a few times and gotten completely scammed, which is really fucking annoying. I heard that a civil rights lawyer YouTube channel is investigating this now. That would be a hell of a crossover. Yeah. eBay fucks you with fees. The fees aren't that bad, honestly, comparatively. The fees, if I am selling stuff on eBay and I am not like a dense buffoon, I will include the cost or percent of the fee in the price. You know what I mean? But in the same breath, yeah, my main gripe with eBay is that I get scammed. I've gotten scammed on eBay and it fucking sucks. But they've always reimbursed me, which is also very nice.
Trust in your community. That makes worse. Yeah, if you steal from old people, that people get upset at you if you do
Yay, my show is on.
that. And so if you want to gain the trust back, you can give Brian the Legos back, and because that's ultimately your goal, right, is to get the trust with your community. So we're giving you a step-by-step guide of how you can get that trust back. Step 1, give Brian the Legos back. Yep.
Step 2.
Well, there's no step 2. Yeah, that's all you have to do. It's a very easy tutorial. I think they just didn't know how to do that before. But now that we made this tutorial for them, it should be very easy for them to gain the trust back. They have further canned response. What's a canned response?
Like a candid? Like candid, maybe?
Canned response.
Candid, I think that means like candid.
It's not like they put the response in a can and give it to someone. Like,
I don't think so. Pre-written reply that someone reuses over and over instead of typing a new message each time.
oh, so basically, I think this is part of the brainwashing. You know, it's like, hey, instead of thinking for yourselves, just blindly follow what corporate's saying without asking any questions. Because if you ask any questions,
Yeah, just give the Legos back. Like, why go through all this shit show? Yeah, the only reason that I could see corporate not wanting to give the Legos back now is like a pride thing. Like, oh, my ego's hurt by this young, like, annoying guy in his underwear. I think I am going to be a piece of shit now. You know, it's like when somebody's caught lacking and they just double down. Yeah.
you get fired.
Somebody reached out to me yesterday saying they got fired because their friend asked a question on your YouTube channel. Your YouTube
Really?
post asked a question and they got fired.
That's crazy.
They're telling their employees, do not say anything. Like they think you read the whole thing. They think if they just shut up and stand back and be quiet, it'll blow over. Like they don't.
This is such an easy, like, really, I cannot overstate how easy it would have been for them to just give the Legos back. Like, it is such a bad reputational hit. It really is. It really is a really bad reputational hit. There's no skin off their back for cutting out the rest of the Legos. That's it.
Lego fans and they don't know Star Wars fans.
Yeah. This is crazy.
They hired a crisis team.
Social media monitoring.
I think that crisis team, dude, they're typing in the prompt to fucking ChatGPT. All right. ChatGPT, you are a crisis management team at one of the greatest firms in the United States. Develop an action plan and understanding for our franchisees to understand what happens in internet outrage situations. Make no mistakes. Boom.
Is required right now when monitoring your social media. We recommend turning off the ability to comment on your store's social media posts for the time being.
Wait, they said they're not trying to silence criticism, though. Isn't that literally silencing? It's like, oh, if we're getting criticism, let's silence it.
Yeah, exactly.
How is that not silencing criticism? Oh, let's keep going. Sorry, I cut you off.
I don't know. Maybe this reached Lego HQ. At some point, they're going to get involved, right?
Review monitoring. Monitor your Google, Facebook, and Yelp reviews and immediately flag/report any spam or retaliatory reviews.
But they're not silencing criticism, though, Victor. Please instruct your staff to actively solicit a Google review with every single transaction. A brief verbal reminder at the register to share their honest feedback goes a long way. So they're saying we need to flag all of these reviews that expose us for stealing from old people, but then let's make up for it by just every single transaction, leave us a good review, and maybe people won't see the crime that we committed, which is stealing from an old person.
Please use the hyperlinks below to download the following assets we have prepared for you and your...
You could like, so you can get like falsified reviews on Google reviews taken down, right? So like they could theoretically get a lot of those reviews taken down because it doesn't serve the actual purpose of what Google reviews does, which is review that place. But then in the same breath, you can't ever make that argument in a situation like this without looking like the person doing the wrong thing.
Team. Crisis de-escalation playbook. The short playbook includes verbatim scripts for handling in-store filming, hostile phone calls, and social media comments. So I feel like you should download these. And then
if any Bricks and Minifigs employees have links to any of these videos and want to send them to us.
Next steps in moving forward. We understand how stressful and frustrating situations like this can be for you and your staff. Please note that your safety, peace of mind, and the protection of your local business are our absolute highest priorities.
They made this problem. They unironically made this problem, and the people at risk are like the employees, dude. They're just fucking at risk now. Oh fuck, somebody fucking gifted, but now I'm crazy because I can't fucking read any of those. Very based in Pog?
All of that is actually their lowest priorities, because if it was their highest priority, they would just give the Legos back. That would be a good way to show that it's their highest priority, but they're not doing it. So that makes me think that they don't care about their franchises. They're like, you know what? We're going to steal from this person, and you guys have to pay the consequences for it. And we don't care about you because we're not giving the stuff back.
They want to continue stealing from old people, man.
Yeah.
This is a challenging issue, but it is not impossible to overcome. You're 100% correct. You already know what to do. We gave you a very clear step-by-step.
Well, they didn't.
Oh, it was from Monique.
The tutorial wasn't made when they wrote
Very
this.
base, very
But
Pod, very
now
base.
the tutorial's out there. They know that they just have to give the stuff back, and they'll make it right. I have faith at least they'll make it right now.
We're doing everything we can to protect the brand and our online reputation.
Well, I don't know about that because it got worse. So Ben got arrested. They his house. They got swatted.
This is the story of how I got swatted.
Yeah, of course I heard about that. Of course.
All because of Legos. The whole thing started with me investigating a Lego company called Bricks and Minifigs. The company sent 2 guys to steal the world's largest Star Wars Lego collection worth around $200,000. And for some reason, the police are helping them get away with it. The family reached out to me saying that I'm their last hope to get them their life savings back. The video I made exposing them was actually insane. Check it out if you haven't seen it yet. But we ended up taking them to court, and we actually won. When I went back to the store to collect my money, they literally shut down the entire store just to avoid paying us. Dang it! So I personally gave them an official closing ceremony, and it went extremely viral. And now the entire world has seen how corrupt this Bricks and Minifigs company is.
We didn't get the Legos back, but I mean, we shut down an entire business.
We still gotta get the Legos back. Yeah, I made a promise to this family that I was not gonna stop on my journey until we get them their entire Lego collection back. Right now, the 2 owners, Joshua Johnson and Brandon Best, probably think that they're safe by closing down the store. But the reality is, I can literally just sue them all over again, but personally this time. So I started to file my lawsuit. Right after I filed this court case, it got rejected. And the reason was, I failed to demonstrate a good faith effort to resolve the dispute prior to filing.
Basically, before this court case can get approved, I have to at least attempt to settle with Josh outside of court first.
I tried calling Josh, but I'm blocked.
I'm sorry.
Oh, man.
So my only option left is to travel to his house to have this conversation in person.
Basically, if Josh wants to save the day, I got him a trophy that says, Joshua Johnson saved the day.
Joshua Johnson sounds like a fake name. Does that not sound like a fake person?
And we'll give him this trophy, but he has to give the Legos back first.
So we started driving to Josh's house to have this good faith conversation the court requires us to have.
We're in Josh's neighborhood. Oh my gosh.
But when we showed up, Josh was already outside talking on the phone to someone.
Oh my gosh, okay, Josh is outside on the phone. That's crazy. Wait, do I interrupt his phone call or do we just like wait?
Interrupt his phone call?
No, probably not.
I thought it would be pretty rude to interrupt his phone call, so we parked around the corner and decided to wait for him to get off this call.
I like how we just have this conversation outside.
Right.
Interesting how he's standing outside for this.
I want to get his wife involved. He's hiding something.
What the fuck?
Everything's good, huh?
What the fuck? I've never. It's very weird to see a guy in like a button down and tie walking around in his front yard, talking on the phone. You know, like it's just something like fucking weird.
Sure, Josh is on the phone with corporate Bricks and Minifigs. And the reason I think that is we were actually just there right before this.
Okay, pulling up to Bricks and Minifigs headquarters.
The plan was to give them one more chance to do the right thing before suing them again. While we were there, one of the corporate employees answered the door and told us he would get the CEO to come talk to us.
Okay. Well, no, they said they're getting some guy to talk to us. We're just waiting.
I can tell you right now, no one's going to talk to you guys.
Really? But they told us that they were.
I know.
Since Josh only lives like 15 minutes away, they must have informed him that we're in the area. Because a few minutes later, this happened.
The police just showed up. What the heck? Why are the police at his house?
Oh, there's another one, dude. 2 cop cars.
3 cop cars?
Oh my god. Cop cars.
Why is there 3 cop cars at his house? We didn't even walk up to his house yet. Yeah. The cops are following us. What the heck? That's so crazy, dude. Obey every traffic law. Oh, shoot.
My name's Josh. The reason I stopped you is to stop sign.
I didn't? I thought I stopped.
Yeah, you definitely stopped. So you said you ran a stop sign?
Huh?
You said you ran a stop sign?
I didn't see what happened.
Yeah, I was like,
because we definitely stopped at the stop sign.
Stopped.
Yeah.
I was so sure that we stopped at the stop sign that I actually requested all the police footage of this. And as you can see, we didn't even do a rolling stop. We fully stopped at the stop sign. So this is an illegal traffic stop.
So who's Ben?
So who's Ben? Oh boy.
Ben, how's Utah? It's good. Like it?
Okay, it's pretty obvious that the police know why we're here, so I just explained to them the entire situation.
This old man spent his entire life collecting the world's largest Star Wars Lego collection set.
The only problem is it's a crazy story, and the police officer did not believe me.
$200,000. $200,000. It sounds crazy.
Yeah. When the
Yeah, it's not really correct, by the way. Yeah, it looked like they stopped past the stop sign. Oh God. Yeah.
officer went back to his car.
But it's not really about, the thing is that they're stopping them under false pretenses, because it's not about them running the stop sign. It's because Ben is in the car. Okay. like it's, they're using the stopping like at a stop sign as the false pretense to put Ben in handcuffs.
This is the message that he radioed in.
Hey, can you get the contact for Reckless Ben? He said he didn't have his ID, but he's just straight lying to me about everything else, so.
Since the cops don't believe my story, they trespassed me from the property.
Everybody today is being trespassed from that property.
Okay.
Yeah, we were forced to go home without having this good faith conversation the court requires us to have.
Yeah, what do we do now, dude? Like, we didn't even, get to talk to him, and we're getting trespassed.
So, dude. But one thing I didn't understand was how the heck did they know we were coming? I was hiding in the back seat the entire time, and the car's windows were extremely tinted.
These windows are so tinted, you can't see anything.
But as I was outside inspecting our car tint, the same police showed up to our house.
Oh no, we're getting pulled over again?
It was weird. He wouldn't tell us why he was here.
Like I said, we've already talked about it.
Yeah, well, thanks for being so cool about everything.
Yeah.
They're like after us, dude.
Anyways, since Josh clearly doesn't want to have this good faith conversation with me.
The Mormon Utah police are a gang. This is mob shit. The Mormon mob. So do the Mormons control the police too? Wow, what a really good segue you've given me. So, let's look at the police training that happens inside of Utah so you can understand how Utah police operate.
Our goal as law enforcement is to stop the threat. It's not to hurt someone, it's not to kill someone.
Police get their basic training in Utah during 16 weeks at Peace Officers Standards and Training, known as POST. They spend time inside the classroom and out, and towards the end go through 5 days of intensive scenario training. Salt Lake Tribune reporter Peyton Harkins and producer Abby Ellis were allowed to observe sessions over several months.
What is the most important thing we got to take care of when we first get any scene? Officer and scene safety.
Sergeant Scott Lauritsen oversees the scenario training at POST.
Do we continue our investigation?
The absolute most important thing is officer safety. So all of the other procedural stuff that they learn will be at their own individual agencies. And so we
Do they
really
get tased? My
highlight-
brother got tased on his last day. You're supposed to get tased and like fucking pepper sprayed and all that shit.
that officer safety issue.
Do we allow people to point guns at us? No. We go home. Those that we're dealing with will go home if they choose to, right? But we go home, we protect ourselves, protect our partners, protect those innocent bystanders.
Yeah, I was gonna say 5 days, dude. Really fast.
Was there anything that happened during the argument?
Hey, why are the cops here?
The cadets are put through role playing, from traffic stops,
You ran that stop sign over there.
domestic violence situations, to dealing with someone experiencing a mental health crisis.
We have role players and an evaluator. We have guidelines and kind of how we want the role players to respond to certain stimulus that the cadets
Do
are
the
given.
Utah police get sent to Israel for police training?
Is there a weapon behind there?
I haven't seen one.
You don't know. Will our officer safety become laxed in these, or will it become heightened? But what are you seeing?
I just want to get down to his level of training. Talk
Okay,
more.
so you're trying to be empathetic at the sacrifice of your officer safety.
And so as we're going
I mean, it kind of seemed like he was de-escalating the situation. I don't know. I don't know, man. I mean, I'm not a cop. I'm just saying, you know, this guy's like, this person's having like a mental health crisis, and this guy's like, you need to be standing back so you could fucking shoot the guy who wants to kill himself. It's like, all right. Look, man.
Going through these different scenarios, we're trying to get them to understand the importance of, if I'm going to be safe, I have to understand everything that's going on around me.
Cassie, police, come out and talk to us, would you?
All right. I know that we keep there's like an overwhelming amount of we need to go back to alpha men shit coming out of the government, but why are cops always so comedically out of shape? I don't understand.
You're not coming out?
The instructors push them to make life and death decisions.
Put the gun down. Cassie, can you put the gun down for me? Come on, we'll pull it up. Mic free.
Can you put the gun down? I got a gun pointed at you. Can you put the gun down?
You see the problem here? What happened to our officer safety? Why are we not recognizing that as a gun pointed at us? When you think of a gun be pointed
Person who's suicidal, they're basically pointing a gun at you. So it's either you or them. Well, so it's a crime if you commit but don't succeed. It's a crime if you want to blow your shit schmoove off. But it is also a problem where he can blow your shit schmoove off for you wanting to blow your shit schmoove off.
at you, what do you think? You think this, right? Do we think of this or this or whatever it is? Is that what we think of?
No. Seems casual. It doesn't seem threatening.
Okay.
Well, she's spinning it.
And where is her finger?
Because she wants to fucking blow her brains out. Wouldn't that just be police-assisted suicide? I mean, yes.
On the trigger, right. But
The thing is that police shouldn't be assisting in suicide. That's such a tiny gun. I have shot a gun like that. It does not feel like a tiny gun when you shoot it.
that's why.
So would you have shot?
That's really hard.
No, it's not really hard.
It is hard for
It's
me.
really simple.
Because if I shot her and then I don't think.
Do you let a gun be pointed at you? Yes or no?
I want to say no, but.
Do you let a gun be pointed at your partner?
This guy is raising a very reasonable question. I understand what they're trying to teach, but then in the same breath, this seems more like a systemic issue of maybe how we teach should be changed from the bottom to the top. You know what I mean? Because they're asking reasonable questions that point to a larger systemic issue of, like, you know, the officers out there and they're in a life or death situation where that person is holding a gun and they want to take their own life. And this cop has to be the person who talks that person off a ledge. But then the instructor is saying, you don't talk the person off the ledge. You make them get off the ledge with your gun, or you make them get off the ledge by neutralizing them. Yeah, like bro was saying, if the suicidal person got a gun, make the decision for them. Yeah, it's like, at least here in New York, if people get, or at least where I am in New York, right? I assume that this is becoming more of a normalized thing across New York, but in New York, if a police officer gets a call to go to a scene where somebody is like either having a domestic or a child abuse thing, or like is the victim of like a sex crime, or is threatening to kill themselves, if there's something like that, then usually a social worker comes with the officer. So a lot of times now, social workers are also coming with officers to diffuse situations, and it's been working really well. It's been making a demonstrable change for everybody's safety.
Then what's the argument? Why is it so hard? You're in the wrong
You
profession.
just you gotta just live with
My
it.
friend, if you can't live with that.
Regardless, killing people should be something that is difficult. It's not something that should come easy.
How many of you made that decision? 1 out of 7. You are 3 weeks from that being a real gun, a real bullet, a real death. And you don't know if you can live with that? Wow. How many brothers do you have out here? How many sisters? They mean less to you than somebody.
Who'd have thought someone trained to help suicidal people would be better for talking someone down in a cop?
A mental subject. You go home, you soul search, and you figure it out. And if that question hasn't been answered tomorrow, I suggest you don't come back.
Being a police officer.
Yeah, I can get it. It's dangerous, but you really should be trained at that level of hypervigilance. It's really funny. Every now and again, I stop playing the game because they're like, for some reason they updated the game to add AI assets and then not disclose it. But I really enjoyed the game, Ready or Not, but they just kept making annoying updates that I fucking couldn't stand, and so I had to stop playing it. There's no reason to be updating a map that you finished. Every now and again, I'll see somebody come out and say like that the game Ready or Not, where you play SWAT officers responding to crimes, is like propaganda, but it's really, really critical of police, despite being a police simulation game. And also, you literally fail missions if you shoot too many people. Like, you literally just cannot walk into a place and then gun down innocents. So it's funny that, like, a video game presents a more, like, if you want to do a good job, don't kill people. Like, it's just...
You may end your career.
This fuck is teaching them the Second Amendment is meaningless if you feel unsafe. Lol. They didn't break the law, they just had a bad day.
Be required to take a life. When you're faced with that situation, if you have not come to the reality that you may have to do that, and now you're processing...
This guy's got Mormon in his eyes.
...through it, how effective is your decision going to be? So yeah, absolutely. To put on this badge and to put a gun on your hip to go into somebody's house to protect them, if you haven't made that decision that taking someone's life may be a possibility, it's too late then.
We don't want to shoot people.
This guy has some crazy wrinkles in his head. You're right. You were so right. He has some crazy ass wrinkles.
Okay? But who makes that decision?
All right. Dark woke opinion. If I know my rights and I am legally armed and a cop is trying to infringe on those rights and the cop is committing a crime by pointing his firearm at me, I should be able to retaliate and it should be protected under the Second Amendment.
Bear with me for a minute. When you picture criminal, what do you think? Have you pictured somebody you love? Look in the mirror and ask yourself, can I kill a kid? Can I shoot a grandma? Can I shoot a mom? Can I shoot a dad?
Can I shoot?
Can I shoot a brother? Because if you can't, it's not you that's going to get hurt, it's your partner.
Why would you say something so controversial? You're so grave. You know, it's really funny because I think 9 times out of 10, the majority of the situations, a traffic officer at the very least will be called to as somebody fucking speeding down a fucking road.
How many of you have been to an officer's funeral? How was it? Not sure. Did you know him?
But yeah, white people always be having grim ass funerals.
I didn't. How bad would that be if that was your partner and you knew that was your fault?
Why are cops all bald? It's because they're all median age 40 and looking for something in life to give them meaning.
Life changing? Way worse.
There's also like hair requirements, like they gotta have short hair.
Over the past 10 years, 15 police officers died on the job in Utah.
Interesting. Jarvis, pull up the statistics for how many citizens were shot by police officers in Utah.
10 of them killed by a suspect.
As you're walking the halls doing these trainings, there's this giant memorial to all the officers in Utah who have been killed. It's
I
massive.
thought their name was Paddington. I was about to be like, there ain't no way you were named Paddington.
The wall is this physical reminder of what they learn in training. If you mess up, it means either your life could be taken or your partner's life could be taken. And you're taught you don't want your name to end up on this wall.
Some law enforcement uniforms are very strict. My brother had was a trooper, and he had to make sure his shoes were shined every day. You know what the state trooper hats are the worst. Can we get some more like fitted type shit in? You know, can we get something better? Them cowboy hats are ugly as fuck.
You ready? All right, next up.
Many of the scenarios we observed would turn out to be worst case and end in a shooting.
I heard shots inside and I'm too afraid to go in there. Please.
Like this one, where a woman calls 911 and says her husband and son have shot themselves.
Man, they do all this prep, and then the second a shooting happens in real life, they all stand behind the corner waiting for the gunman to barrel down the rest of the children into the room.
Police, is anybody in there?
It's not long after the cadets show up that she ends up stabbing one of them.
Nah, yeah, you're thinking of Mounties, for real. You're thinking of Mounties.
Bang, 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 bang. Dispatch, we have an officer down.
In Utah, I don't doubt it's possible they're called Paddington. That's so true.
And her husband wakes up
Paddington's kind of a hard name when you think about it, in like a double reverse kind of way.
starts firing at the others.
Bang, 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 bang.
And this one,
We're just gonna let you out for the warning today, okay?
where a routine traffic stop turned into a hostage situation.
Every situation that we send police officers in doesn't require lethal force. But if we take an officer's career, how many situations are they going to be in, let's say, in a 20-year career? Thousands, right?
Is it really that bad in Utah? I would imagine that it's not that bad in Utah. I don't know. I don't have Utah crime statistics. Unfortunately, I'm not Nick Shirley with a bone to pick on my fellow Americans.
But we only have these cadets for 5, 6 days, maybe 7 days at the most.
I feel like cadets should
So we
practice these kind of things for longer. Yeah, he has Mormon voice. I don't know. I just feel like it should be longer. You know? I mean, clearly they were in the academy for longer, right? Like what's the time from like the day that you do your application to the police force to the day that you go out on the job for the first time, right? Because like they should go to academy for a couple months, right? Like that's usually what happens. So why are they just doing these practical tests right now? They should spend a lot of time training to actually learn the law. That's for sure. There should be a lot of book learning as well. But I also feel like out of my experience of knowing officers, a lot of them probably have a high school education and not much else, you know? Because like out of the officers I've known in my life, most of them, I think, probably didn't have more than a high school education. I wouldn't even know if they actually did know most of the laws offhand.
To take this experience of a 20-year career and condense that into a few days. And so we try and hit such a wide variety of scenarios.
In Brazil, you're required to have a college degree. Yeah, well, like the degree or like the requirements have fluctuated and changed. Right now, it depends on the state if from what I remember offhand, but it's not like I have that up right now.
Open their eyes to the possibility.
But the focus on worst-case scenarios has become increasingly controversial among experts in the field who are concerned about police shootings.
The essence of what we would call fear-based training is the training on the possibility of an action versus the probability of an action.
Yeah, it's like it's one of those things where it's like, do they train for these worst case scenarios because what they're looking for is those like things that you experience in the movies versus the reality of the job. Because I think for most people that do everything, even somebody who does like something serious, right? Think about, like, I know nurses, and those nurses do have days that are like the pit. But if you based all of medical training for a nurse off of a show like the pit, would that not prepare you for something incorrect? I feel like that would, because it almost seems like you're training for the thing that you see in shows rather than what you train for in reality, you know?
Randy Shrewsbury worked as a police officer in multiple departments around the country.
Utah has one of the lowest crime rates in the nation. Never mind, guys. I guess it works being a Mormon theocracy. Maybe these Mormons have something figured out we don't. God.
He now advocates for reforming police training. We showed him some of the scenarios we filmed at Post.
Part of the problem that we have resides in this scenario-based training, because it's this kind of endless exploration of what could happen, for which then officers...
Okay. So it's one of the lowest crime rates in the nation. It's because they actually redline felons together and police them harder. So they're just stealing from other felons. It's crazy. Well, I believe that.
In every circumstance of their job is feeling some level of threat. But
yeah, it's like how people get into security and underestimate the work. Listen, I know we got folks here that are like veterans or did time in service, right? And they probably had a different perception of what they would be doing going in versus what they actually did. You know what I mean? Because when I talk, so I have a guy, I know a guy who trained to join the U.S. Army Rangers. He like trained by like jumping out of fucking like planes and like kicking down doors and all of this like enter and clear, bang and clear type shit. You know, the kind of shit you see in the movies, right? All of that. He trained for that. Incredibly well trained. And then they sent him to an army base in Poland because the war in Ukraine broke out. And for his years of service, he spent it freezing his ass off in Eastern Europe, sitting there and doing fuck all and just doing nothing and making sure that no Russians came across the Poland-Ukrainian border. So he just didn't do anything. You know, he just didn't do anything. And everything he trained for was not the reality of what his job was. Could also be that they commit more white-collar crimes, and because it's reported to police less, the crime is way less policed. The number one crime in Utah is larceny theft, ironically. My friend told me he did a lot of drinking in Korea when he was in the military. Yeah, he also did a lot of drinking in Poland, but like anytime he would call home or talk to his family back home, his whole shit when he would talk to his mom back home was, "Mom, I'm so bored. It's miserable out here. The weather's shit. We don't do anything. I sit around all day. This is fucking awful."
Problem becomes is that when you're reacting to anecdotes or to situations that could possibly happen, you start to kind of create a narrative into the officer's mind, which is placing them on edge.
Get on the ground!
Yeah, like a lot of this seems like role play for their personal fun rather than like training for the reality of the situation. Because like I would imagine that the reality of what you do as a police officer, I know like the joke is like, oh, if you're a police officer, all you actually really do is paperwork. But like, appropriate reaction to being in Poland. Yeah, a lot of people get into the military and end up doing warehouse work after basics. Yeah, he trained to be in the special forces and then ended up just doing warehouse work anyway.
I'm going to shoot you! Get out! Get on the ground now!
Black Lives Matter, you guys know the drill!
Uh-oh. 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 Oh, that's a bad one. Yikes. Boy. And there it is. Oh, fuck. Oh, no. Oh, what did they say? He said, after the lady cop shot him, he said, "Black Lives Matter. You know the drill."
You shoot.
Those large guys, they jumped out of the vehicle. They're both coming at us.
Is this death or serious bodily injury?
No.
Why is our gun our first resort?
Panic button.
The reality is that policing is safe as it's ever been. So it doesn't match up to this disproportionate emphasis that we place when we're constantly telling officers that at any moment they can be murdered.
Dude, what's the meme where it's like, dude, I'm really worried for after the United States collapses and then the Mormon super soldier drop troopers deploy into Appalachia.
At any moment that they can be killed.
If anybody were to have super soldiers, to be honest, the Mormon Church is definitely up there in the list of parties that would have it.
We brought these critiques to the director of Utah's post
Yeah, and he was going to be like, well, too bad, the job is dangerous.
Program, Scott Stevenson.
Is it possible that by training with worst case scenarios, cadets go out and
Yeah, you're priming cadets to think that every scenario is like the worst case scenario. Because you're not priming them for the reality of the job. You're reinforcing a narrative of what you think the job would be. Because when we retell our experiences to people in the future and act on things in the present, we are using the internal narrative in our head to dictate our actions that we commit. Which is not like super high concept fucking psychology or philosophy here, but it is exactly what we all do and we all walk through our lives. I mean, you know, as a streamer, I think I'm profoundly genius-like, and I say things that I think, damn, dude, you really do got it. But in reality, that's just like all a narrative that I'm telling myself. So at the time of filming this documentary, the #1 killer of cops was COVID, followed by other cops driving, followed by other cops shooting. So 2 of the 3 of the killers of cops are cops.
field with a heightened sense of paranoia, seeing threats where there might not actually be threats.
I think it's a valid observation.
Also, I do want to say, it is so fucking infuriating how much the Punisher has become a symbol for police. When none of these guys have definitely ever read a Punisher comic book.
But I do not believe so. How would you want us to train?
See, look, Punisher in the back right there.
If those situations are so infrequent, do you want somebody going in without any type of experience?
That's not even a fucking answer to the question, you fucking buffoon. It's not that you shouldn't train for those at all. I'm not saying that those shouldn't be trained for. Neither was that the question. The question was really asking whether or not you should put in more varieties of training so that way police officers could better be informed for the reality of the situation. But you're sitting here going, no, would you want them to have no training? Is that what you're saying? You want them to have no training? No, that's not what I fucking said. Bro said pew pew is the first resort. What the fuck? They all need to face the wall.
And if so, how do you expect them to perform?
The question is arguing whether, listen, she is asking a loaded question. The journalist is asking a loaded question because the reality of it from a normal person is that more of the training should be focused on more of the reality of the job. Okay? It's not that these types of worst case scenario trainings can't exist. It's that they can't be the only thing. Okay? You should be able to have trainings where a situation resolves well and trainings where a situation resolves in a gunfight. And both of those things should be able to coexist. Okay? This isn't like a defund the police argument. This is, oh, maybe these people should be better trained so they could more appropriately do their job. This guy has a dumb face. This is the kind of training Utah cops get. You can see why they are so in-group focused and high-strung. Yeah.
We put officers in ugly situations. We really do. And then we expect it to be perfect every time. If I can teach them in that situation where the potential outcome is a shooting, then maybe they'll try to avoid it.
So, if I train someone that a situation could resolve in a shooting, then maybe they could avoid a shooting. Dude, if I'm trained to shoot them, I shoot them. I'm doing what my training says. That's the point of training. That's how they train soldiers. They're training them to shoot. If you train a soldier and you say, shoot that target, they shoot the target. So when they're in that scenario, when they see the guy's head pop up above the mound, they shoot the fucking target. I don't no, that was a different bald guy. What a weird way for him to answer that question. It was like he acknowledged that the training wasn't robust enough, but then said, there's no other way. Just this like refusal to even entertain the concept of an alternative idea, right? It's not even saying, I don't think cops should get training. It's like, what if their training was better? You know, what if their training covered more things? But his mind could only think about like, we train this way or not at all. It's like, that's not like even what anybody's asking. We obviously need to have people to enforce laws. Duh. I follow Midwest crime body cam videos where at the end they get a retired cop covering the situation from a cop POV. He has a different stance than this dude. He was trained that gun is the last resort. Oh my god. Then again, he was a cop in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I think being an urban police officer is way different too. A lot of these things are very region specific. God. The top comment on this: every situation we send our officers in doesn't require lethal force, but hopefully with this training we can get up to 99% lethal force in every situation. God. This came out in 2021. We had just dealt with like a racial reckoning in the United States. Rough. Police need commissars. I don't think if we, I don't. Comedy. I was almost taking you seriously. We need another guy with a gun behind them to make sure they don't shoot a stranger. God. Yeah, no de-escalation, dude. God. Oh, shit. Read a reply to the comments, too. I don't want to read internet discourse. I like not reading internet discourse, actually. I'll get back to Ben right after I take a leak. Let me go take a piss, dude. Let me go take a piss. I'm back. It's so fucked when you consider how many different things could be seen as a gun. Like, how are you identifying a gun? How are you identifying the weapons? Yeah. What's really funny is, like, this sounds like this method is actually causing the peace officers to lose their lives at a higher rate. God. God. My hands, they're washed. They're washed. God, that's so fucking funny. Dude, the Mormon's first line of defense is a poorly trained police officer, dude. It's just me and my firearm and Joseph Smith, okay? The golden plates are the plates in my bulletproof vest. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Let's get back into when Ben gets raided by the Utah Fire First, Ask Questions Later Police Department.
I took his trophy and destroyed it.
Wait, guys, let's throw it off that thing.
Just like in the previous video, I tried to give Josh the benefit of the doubt, the easy way. But again, Josh does not want to do the easy way. The only option left is to go the hard way. But before going the hard way, I actually remembered that there's another owner of the store named Brandon Best. Brandon is the guy in the security camera footage.
Brandon Best and Josh Joshson. These guys have cartoon names.
That illegally kicked the first owner out of the store so he could steal all their Legos. I tried calling him, but I am also blocked.
I'm sorry.
The only option left is to show up to his house.
Hello. Hey,
Maybe the plates were actually made of brass from bullets the officers fired into unarmed civilians. Which is really weird because they had smooth bore muskets when the plates were made.
Hello? Hey, well, I was wondering if you'd be down to pay us for the lawsuit we won.
Why'd this guy come out? Volume up? Sure. Is he's just standing out there?
Seems like Brandon doesn't want to have this good faith conversation to resolve this problem outside of court, and I gave him plenty of time to speak.
I guess if you don't want to talk, I'll just talk. So you guys told us to take you to court. We went to court and we won.
Why doesn't this guy just like stay inside and call the police? He came out to try and be intimidating, but he's not even looking at him. He's like standing into the distance. He could have just stayed in his house and called the police on Ben and like trespassed him. Like, you don't even need to go outside. I'd be staying on my fucking couch.
We know you closed down the store to avoid paying us, so we could
Also, this guy's breaded as hell. Look at that beautiful fucking McMansion.
just sue you guys personally and do the whole thing again. We would obviously win again, but
then the police showed up, and again, for some
this Mormon's paying his tithes. You know it.
reason, they are really trying to protect these criminals.
He didn't steal anything. He inherited the store from somebody.
no, he stole $200,000 worth of. Because I've been spending the last 3
This cop is fucking younger than Ben, brother.
months in the case, and I won in court.
He inherited the store. He's being blamed for everything that the previous owner did, and he's trying.
Well, that's a lie. So we.
Okay, hold on.
Okay, I'm sorry.
He's still trying to clean up the mess from the previous owner, and now he's catching blame for it. And he's just trying to clean up the mess from the previous owner.
No, him saying that it's the previous owner, that's a lie. And we already proved this in court. Okay.
If you come back and step foot on this property, you're gonna go to jail.
The police gave me a formal trespass notice, which I took a picture of it and sent it to the court as proof I tried to have this good faith conversation, but Brandon didn't want to have it with me. And turns out this was good enough. My court case with Brandon Best got accepted. But my court case with Josh is still going to be rejected until I find a way to have this good faith conversation with him. So I decided to see if I could find Josh online.
Why are they protecting them? He is on their property. If he's setting foot on their property, the police can trespass him, even if he's there for like a legal reason or he's trying to do something under good faith effort. You know, it's funny because there you don't need to personally tell the person you're trespassing them. Here in New York, I need to personally tell someone I'm trespassing them. Or at least that's what happened with me.
To see if I could look up any more information about him.
Yeah, bald white guys. Yeah, there's a lot of those. Why are the cops presenting his story as if his story is true? It's not as if that's what he said. Yeah.
The same, no.
Joshua Johnson.
Yeah, Joshua Johnson.
We lower their tax liabilities and minimize their exposure to lawsuits. That's hella ironic. Are you kidding me, dude? That's what he's known for? Is reducing people's exposure to lawsuits?
After some more research, we found out that both Josh and Brandon are super hardcore Mormon, which was actually extremely surprising to me because if Josh and Brandon are truly Mormons, they believe that stealing is wrong, and if they steal, they're going to go to hell.
So here we go, guys. This is the Mormon police. All right. Fucking Utah, man. The fucking Mormons legal mob. Outrageous.
Or I guess in Mormonism they call it the outer darkness. But still, Brandon and Josh probably actually believe that this is going to be eternity for them. I mean, Josh even swore to me on his Mormon God in the last video that he would give us
on his Mormon God.
back.
I promise you, I swear to God. I promise you on everything.
But maybe I can use this to my advantage. My problem right now seems to be that Josh is never going to listen to anything I ever tell him. But if someone from his church heard this audio, maybe he would listen to them. So after finding exactly what church these guys go to, we went to it and showed one of
oh my God.
the Mormons there this audio clip. And the Mormon thought that the best thing to do was to have a talk with Josh.
I like how this guy is literally dressed like Elder Price. He's sitting out here with fucking dinky little Elder Price right now, telling him about the Lego conspiracy.
Save him from going to this outer darkness.
Okay, good luck. And I guess me and Tyler are staying back because we're already trespassed. So
yeah, we ended up just
they're stealing to pay their tithing.
driving home, but on our way back, this happened.
What? Pull over again?
Dude, this is a fucking guys. I cannot even begin to tell you how seriously something needs to be done about the Mormons. All right. I have seen mainstream news coverage of this, and they are covering this as if Ben is a nuisance. Okay, I have read articles where they are treating it like Ben is being a nuisance. The Mormons are the problem.
For what? How's it going?
How's it going? I'm Officer Hawkins, American Fork Police Department. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Oh, American Fork Police Department? Hey, that's from the PBS video we just watched.
Well,
What's your name? Are you Ben?
We have to use Catholic strategy to fight Mormons. So true.
Hanging out down here.
At this point, we realized what's going on. Yesterday, I told Brandon that our plan is to now sue them personally.
We could just sue you guys personally and do the whole thing again. We would obviously win again.
It seems like they're getting so desperate that they're going to resort back to the same strategy they used in the last video.
You know what's really funny is after you left, I got a call from my boss, and he was like, how do we get them arrested? How do we
Dang.
get them arrested?
Yeah, Josh and Brandon think that if they can somehow get us arrested and thrown in jail, then we won't be able to sue them. I don't know what they told the police we did this time, but they caught us too late. The Mormon kid was already on his way to Josh's house to save him from this outer darkness and bring him back to God.
What's going on, sir? You can sit down here for me first. What brings you here?
I'm just here trying to talk to Brother Johnson.
Okay.
I'm in the August 2nd Ward. There's been an audio going around with the young group.
Okay. What's the audio that you wanted to play?
Here's the audio.
I'm not going to screw you. You have my word. That's not who I am. I promise you. I swear to God.
He just shows up to the window. Stop resisting. Sorry, this is how I was trained.
Who's that?
So
I guess
that's him.
No, I know that. I could tell that from the voice, but
I was just going to ask him, like, is he willing to give up everything like he said? Because he swore on everything. He swore on God. This might be a crazy ask, but could you take a selfie with me?
But anyways, back to us.
That is very funny. How a Mormon teenager is still just a teenager.
Police apparently got a call that we had heroin on us.
this officer is going to conduct a search of the person because there are illegal substances in the vehicle. So he's going to do that. I'm going to put this away, and then we'll be right. Don't reach in your pockets. Okay. Sounds good. Thank you. This the vehicle will be searched. Okay. I'm going to have you stick by with my sergeant.
After 2 hours of searching the car.
Yeah, the cops are harassing him because they are probably really well respected, high paying Mormons. Okay, so that's probably why they're fucking harassing the shit out of him.
Obviously, they found no drugs.
So, you didn't find
I explained to the police that we didn't have drugs, and the reality of the situation is that Bricks and Minifigs is so desperate at this point that they're willing to do anything to get us arrested so they don't have to pay for the property they stole. And the police was arguing back with just some of the worst comebacks I've ever heard, which is why I think the police actually redacted this audio in this clip, because if they kept the audio in, then the world would get to see how stupid the American Fork Police Department is. But anyway,
Because the American Fork Police Department is acting as a wing of the Mormon Church, and they are trying to protect their own.
anyways, even though we were passing every single drug test they gave us, they were still not going to let us go until we told them where the drugs were.
Your eyes, for example, right? There's a constriction, which is dilated, and then not. So I haven't been looking. I'll show him. Look at him.
I'll look at you?
Yep.
You do see it?
So
it's crazy. I have no idea, because I've never done any drugs in my life. I don't do drugs. I don't do alcohol. I've never done any of that in my life. I'm willing to do any drug tests. Like, I'm very cooperative. I don't understand what you're seeing in my eyes.
I'm going to have a discussion with this officer.
And then the police department illegally redacted this conversation too. My guess is that they acknowledge that it's very obvious we don't have drugs on us, but...
Yeah, but the higher-ups demand it.
We're going to try and pressure us into giving some type of false confession anyways.
I'm not sure if you're lying to me or not, to be honest.
I'm willing to take any drug test you want.
I'm walking a very dangerous line, which will get you into a lot of time.
Yeah.
And you could end up in jail in Utah when you're from Cali.
Okay.
Not worth it, right?
Yeah.
We play differently here.
We played differently here. All right, guy. This is a fucking... I have a... My comedic fascination with Mormons, by the way, is quickly approaching a point where I have a disgusting righteous hatred. Maybe it's the latent Catholic in me coming out.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I'm willing to cooperate with you guys and do anything you want me to, because I'm not hiding anything. I can promise you that. I promise.
We weren't giving the police a false confession like they wanted, so eventually I guess they just got tired and let us go.
Well, we'll let you guys go now, but you're walking a thin line. Just be mindful of that. Does that make sense? Okay.
At this point, I've documented everything I've been through to the court, that I've tried to have this good faith conversation with Josh. He just doesn't want to have it with me. And because of everything I went through, my court case finally got approved. And attached to this email are court papers to serve Josh. The only problem is Josh is not going to open this door for anyone. He wouldn't even talk to another Mormon. Instead, he just called the police on him.
Yeah, this is textbook coercing a person into a false confession. Yeah.
In order to get Josh to come outside, I'm really going to have to get creative. So I made this poster that says, "I stole a dying man's life savings," and printed it out. Now I'm placing this poster in a public space right across the street from Josh's house. Yeah, it turns out this tiny patch of land is actually free for any person of the public to use. And since we have the freedom of speech, I'm breaking no laws by doing this. So when Josh walks outside to take down this sign, I have a process server to serve him his court papers. But almost
That's
immediately,
crazy.
my sign got blocked.
Oh no, he's blocking our sign.
What are you guys doing here?
So we are in a court case with them and we have to serve them legal papers.
So I explained to the cops the entire situation.
I'm not going on his property. Right, no, that's fine. Yeah. That's fine.
The police realized that we're not breaking any laws, and they've been called here for a false reason, so they decided to leave.
Awesome, thank you.
Bricks and Minifigs, the Mormons, and Josh Johnson and Ben Benson. I don't even know if that's their fucking name, but like, these are all one and the same, okay? Think of them as one contiguous entity.
This is going so much better than yesterday.
So now it's time to serve Josh these court papers. And then we got the police calling us again.
Hello. This man stole basically his family's life savings, so we're just here to serve him his court papers.
Again, I explained to this police officer the entire situation.
I wish we could just send him an email or a phone call, you know, but yeah, the court requires us to come in person for some reason, so...
This is mafia type shit. Yeah, it is.
Again, the cops realized that we are doing nothing illegal and decided to leave. Now it's time to serve Josh his court papers. But we got the police called on us again.
Hello.
Dude, this is unironically wasting police time, but...
Yep, can I see those papers?
Yeah.
So this is what you're trying to serve them with?
Yes. That's required by the court.
Again, the police agree that we are not breaking the law. They've been called out here for a false reason. This guy told me that he could even just serve the papers for me.
You okay if I give these papers to him?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, just give me 1 minute.
Okay, thank you.
Sadly, we can't see the police officer serve Josh because the police department redacted all of it. But the only thing that really matters is that Josh is getting served.
He does not want the paper. So
He's not one of the papers?
here's that back for you.
Yeah, the police told me that they can't serve the papers for me because I'm lying to them, and these aren't even real court papers.
Not sure what this is. I've never seen something like that.
Oh my god.
To be honest with you.
These are court papers.
Okay, it doesn't have a judge's name or anything like that on it?
Because it hasn't gotten to the judge yet. So this is serving him, and then we'll go to the court, and then the judge will be there. So the judge doesn't get involved until we're in court.
Why is he saying that you guys went on the property?
Because he wants us arrested, so he doesn't have to go to court.
It doesn't look good when you've been trespassed.
Yeah.
Trying to serve papers.
Well, I think it looks exactly how we're supposed to do it legally. This is the legal way to do it.
Well, we have 2 or 3 incidents.
Yeah, well, first, so they're incidents because he's lying to you guys. He's making them incidents. We came to do a good faith conversation, which is required by the courts before you can get a court case approved. So we did that. He called the cops on us. He lied to you guys saying that we had heroin on us. And we did a 3-hour search of the car yesterday. We found no heroin in the car. He's going to make up any lie he can to get us arrested. We are doing things the legal way, the correct way. The reason he's hiding in his house is because he's the criminal. If something doesn't look good, it doesn't look good for him, not for us.
Go through the legal process,
Which is
find
what
an
we're
actual
doing, yeah.
process server.
She is an actual process server.
And what is your guys' relationship?
This is actually fucking crazy. This kind of harassment is ridiculous. These officers need to lose their fucking job, but of course they won't.
Just met her today.
Well, maybe just have someone not affiliated with you.
That's her. Yeah, she's.
Yeah,
we have
I
no
just
relationship. That's why
barely
she's
met
here.
her.
Yeah, that's why she's here. We have no relationship, and that is who she is. The exact person that you're describing.
I always thought that the police were supposed to remain unbiased, and if they were going to take a side, they definitely shouldn't take the side of the criminal. But I guess I was wrong. However, I'm not doing anything illegal. I'm literally just following the instructions of the court, so the police can't stop me.
Okay, I'm gonna waste your day.
Okay, see ya.
Now that the police are finally leaving, it's time to game plan how to serve Josh.
Does he think they're screwing? Yeah, because it's a vaguely ethnic-looking woman with a nose piercing, and Ben dresses like a bum all the time. Yes. Yes, they do.
And you guessed it, we got the police called on us again.
Oh, sure. The
For what?
paper? The serving paper?
Yeah.
Here you go. Well,
Do they think it's a false case? What the heck?
Thank you for holding. How can I help you?
Trying to speak with someone to verify if a case is, just verify if a case is real.
Yeah, looks like a real small claims case in our court.
Okay, thank you for your help. That's all for today. Thank you.
I think this phone call was the breaking point for the police.
Yeah, no shit, because it's fucking real. These guys are trying to figure out a way to get him to fuck off.
His chin.
The police couldn't handle the fact that I was right and they were wrong.
Yeah, I bet he and the police chief are in the same ward. Would not be surprising at all.
Okay. Am I being arrested?
You're under arrest right now.
Really?
Ben got arrested. Like, they didn't say anything when they were putting him in handcuffs. They just said, you're being arrested.
I was confused on what I was being arrested for. I mean, the same police officers that arrested me gave me permission to do exactly what I was doing.
You can film from the sidewalk wherever it's public, right? But you can't go on that property. If you do, you'll be charged, okay?
Okay, yeah, for sure.
I got arrested for just doing what the police told me to do. What's even more confusing...
All over Legos, bro. Didn't even read them as right.
is the police are supposed to be the good guys. Why are they arresting an innocent person to protect an evil criminal? Well, back when I was still waiting in the car to serve Josh, I got a phone call, and this call was from Brian, the collector's son who got all their stuff stolen. And he has a theory of what might be going on here.
Yeah, the cops down there are definitely all in with the Mormon community, and being the bricks and minifigs is part of that, and worth millions. I would not doubt that they have donated hefty sums to the Mormon church.
Yeah, no fucking shit. No fucking shit. Absolutely. Dude, you don't hate Mormons enough, man.
Which all the cops are probably a part of.
Yeah, Brandon Best, Joshua Johnson, and Eamon, the CEO, are all super Mormon. Like, the CEO even went to the Mormon University. And when I looked up all the police officers who were treating me unfairly, they were all Mormon too.
And they take care of their own, man. They are like a huge clan that takes care of each other.
And instead of trying to get rid of the few bad people who are making Mormonism look bad, they're for some reason choosing to protect these criminals. But eventually, I got released from jail.
Out of jail now?
And this is when it really hit me that the justice system has decided to protect these criminals. So now there's really only one way
the fucking Mormon church, dude. Dude, Utah is completely fucking crooked if this is the kind of shit that's going on. Disgusting shit, dude. Disgusting. Absolutely deplorable.
Think of to get this family the money back that got stolen from them, which is a GoFundMe. Yeah, it is a pretty anticlimactic ending, but at least I'm confident that I'm not going to get in trouble for this. Now that our GoFundMe is live, it's time to promote it, to start getting donations. We printed out the GoFundMe's picture to hang it up so we can get a nice Instagram video to post to social media. But before the group could even hang the picture up, the police came.
What you guys up to?
We're starting a GoFundMe. Yeah. What we're doing is we're going to get a bunch of publicity to get basically all this money back to this family. Yeah. You know, we're not going to do the lawsuit anymore. We're just going to do this GoFundMe. We've already got it started.
It can run into some defamation stuff.
Again, the police were thinking
my god, dude. These guys are acting like the personal defense attorneys of these fucking Mormons.
of any technicality they could think of to protect their Mormon friends.
Look at your stalking code. See if it's that. If it's not, we're going to look at disorderly. If it's not disorderly, then we're going to look at the city ordinance.
But after going through every law they could think of, it turns out that hanging this sign on a fence and then taking a picture of it for Instagram is not illegal. In fact, what the group is doing is actually protected under the First Amendment, freedom of speech. So one of the police officers let the group know that they were okay to keep doing this.
Right now, I don't think you guys break the law.
But this other police officer wasn't able to accept this reality.
We're going to take
It's probably because the other officer ain't a fucking Mormon and the other one is.
down.
And then for the rest of this footage, the police redacted all of the audio. So I called up the police station to find out why.
All the redactions are done pursuant to the Utah State Code. We don't redact things just because we feel like it or, just because something looks
Okay, so what in the Utah State Code is the reason? What part of the law prohibits me from seeing that specifically?
Everything is redacted pursuant to Utah State Code. And other than that, I can't really delve into any more detail.
But the police made a mistake. They accidentally forgot to mute this police officer's audio. So when you sync the two clips together, I can actually hear what they're saying here.
He sees it or did that? Is it an occasional crime? Is it disorderly conduct? Why? Is he upset about it? I mean, I guess, but that's not.
Yeah, this police officer is right. Just because this might make Josh upset does not make this poster illegal. So I decided to let the police department know that some of the redactions they made aren't exactly what they're claiming they are.
I think you guys might have accidentally forgot to redact another clip that was at the same time. And when I synced the two clips together, I was able to see what they were saying, like what the redaction was. And he was talking about how what we're doing actually isn't illegal and how the police officer might be wrong. And so it wasn't about a protecting.
Yeah, the cops ain't gonna like that. No shit. That's probably why they fucking swatted him.
A victim. It wasn't any personal information. And so I was wondering, it seems like there might be a lot of stuff.
Not to get too Catholic, but they need the fear of hell drilled into them. I don't know. I don't know if it's Catholic to have a fear of hell. I guess maybe. I feel like evangelical Protestants are worse. I think Catholic stocks are up right now if we're talking about Christian denominations and offshoots. I feel like Catholic stocks are up right now.
That got redacted, maybe to protect the police officers, not to protect the victims, if that makes sense. And so
yeah, we don't do that. So like I said, anything that's redacted is pursuant to Utah State Code.
I can tell because when I sync the two clips together, I'm actually able to see that that's what the redaction was.
Okay, well, that didn't happen.
That definitely...
That didn't happen. I just want to say that this is what it's been like dealing with my fucking internet service provider.
It didn't happen?
No, I don't do that, Ben. I follow the Utah State Code, like I just said.
Okay.
Well, you made a fucking mistake, lady. Sorry.
I don't know. It seems like the police department redacted this entire conversation because right here the police are actually admitting to themselves that none of this is illegal, but they're still going to try to arrest us anyway.
There is no Ward Bossing saying.
It seems like the only reason they're getting rid of this audio is to protect the police officers from getting fired. I don't know what the police officers are saying in this next clip, but I'm pretty sure they're scheming up a way to get the group arrested because this is what happens next.
Lieutenant Adamson can correct me if I'm wrong, but we're going to seize your phone right now.
Can the police just seize your phone? Can they just take it from you? Because I would go, no. Right? I don't know, man. I need like an attorney's opinion on that. But I don't know. I don't think they could do that.
Do not do that.
No.
You understand me right now?
Yeah, that's also why I've heard that you shouldn't have biometrics. You shouldn't have biometrics or Face ID on your phone, because if the police take your phone, they can use that to get through. They could just go like, and then get into your phone. So you should always have it as a code.
Now you're attempting to destroy evidence. Okay, put your hands behind your back.
I was just locking my phone.
Okay, I'm going to switch over to the police officer's body cam POV so we can dissect what just happened. First, the police officer asks if he can confiscate Sheldon's phone, so Sheldon says, okay, and reaches in his pocket to give it to him. But at this point, Sheldon sees that his phone is unlocked. And at this moment, he decided that before giving it to the police officer, he was going to lock his phone, which is totally legal. There's no search warrant, so Sheldon is legally allowed to lock his phone. But as the police officer saw Sheldon's thumb moving towards that lock button, he snatched it out of his hands. And now the police officer's claiming that because he tried to lock his phone, he's destroying evidence.
Silence.
Yeah, I was giving it to you.
Talking.
I was
Stop
giving
talking.
it to you.
Okay.
It's on my money. Look, it's on my wallet. I was turning it off.
Right now, this phone is being seized as part of this investigation, and you're being arrested. Okay? Let's put him in the back of the car.
And again, the police decided to break the law, arrest Sheldon, all to protect an evil criminal.
My name's Detective Nikosha. I work for the police department.
I did willingly.
I use a pattern because Prince can show the code. Interesting. Interesting to learn.
Over my phone, but when I handed him my phone, my wallet popped up. So I said, "Hold up, let me hit my power button." And I had it recorded as well. That's all I went and did. That's not obstruction of evidence. And then I let him have the phone. I wasn't trying to delete anything. In fact, it is actually impossible to delete something from an iPhone from a locked screen by hitting the power button. So in no context could I have been trying to erase something by hitting one button on my phone. Now I'm sure you have a phone as well. When you hit the power button, that doesn't delete anything, does it?
I imagine it wouldn't, yeah.
Yes, that's all I did. So I don't know how that's obstruction of evidence, but that is what it is.
Now that Sheldon is in jail, just for promoting our GoFundMe, we started doubting if we'll ever even be able to get Brian his money back for his dad's Lego collection. It's crazy that out of all the powerful organizations I've gone up against...
My blood is boiling, Diesel. Dude, I think that we need to become an anti-Mormon society, dude.
The one company I'm not able to beat is a Lego company. I literally couldn't have imagined a worse ending for this video, but I had no clue that it was about to get way worse.
American Court Police Department, make yourself known.
Search warrant. Stand up.
That's crazy. It's almost like the fucking Mormons are a fucking armed gang.
Step outside, everybody. Come on. No. Don't move like that. You understand me? Don't move like that. Okay?
Yeah, this cop pulled my arm so far back, it dislocated my shoulder. He claims it's because I was attempting to make an escape or something.
Don't move like that. You understand me? Don't move like that. Don't move quick. Everybody just chill.
But if we go back a little bit, you can see I was being completely still when he grabbed me, and I actually made 0 quick movements. So this police officer is just straight up lying, so he can give me a serious injury.
I know, we finally get to see their hypervigilance in action.
Included in the warrant are Legos.
Yes, the police department got an official warrant.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to watch this stuff as soon as the Mormons were involved. I wasn't interested in this story until I found out there were Mormons involved.
To search our house for stolen Legos. I should have seen this coming. Josh did threaten me in the last video that if I go out and actually try to sue him, he's gonna come out and say that I'm the one that stole the Legos.
Okay, let's do it. Hey, fuck you, man. You stole them, bitch.
I stole the Legos?
Yeah, you're a fucking thief.
Dang. Okay.
You can shut the fuck up. That's your fucking choice.
I'm gonna fast forward a little bit just to give you guys some context, but I actually got a copy of this warrant.
The reason they were searching our house was, it says, there is now certain property or evidence described as any stolen merchandise, specifically Lego merchandise. Evidence of illegal conduct.
I feel like they should be more specific. Because you would just be confiscating some guy's Legos.
We stole the Legos.
All of this money, all of this for some Legos, just give the guy his money back. Jesus Christ.
We stole the Legos is why they stormed our house with no evidence. And this is after he's been proven to make up stories about us before. And so now he's just pulling something out of his butt. Oh, they're the ones that stole the Legos. And for whatever reason.
Dude, because everybody's so fixated on Scientology, groups like the Mormons, Jehovah's Witness, and Falun Gong have been able to propagate as fucking agents in America, and they should not be counted as religions. Dude, if you look, it might be Mormons for me now, but I used to be really obsessed with the Falun Gong. Like, they're the people that run Shen Yun, but the Falun Gong produces a far-right newspaper. They're like involved in politics. They donated to the last election. Like, there are other groups. The Mormons not the only one, but they are out there.
The police take him.
It's not just Scientology. Like, everybody's like clowning on Scientology. Not even the only one.
Even though he's acting like a crazy person.
Anyways, the cops probably felt pretty stupid when they searched our entire house and didn't find any stolen Legos. Again, the police illegally redacted this conversation to avoid them looking stupid, but I'm pretty sure that's what they were talking about. But instead of doing what any rational police officer would do and let us go, they're sticking to their story.
You just hate dancing, yeah.
We're the thieves.
Wait till you learn about the Kingston clan. I gotta look that up now. Is it because Scientologists aren't Christian adjacent? Yeah. Yeah, that's why. Scientologists can't hide behind that thin veneer of they're just a kooky offshoot religion. And then Falun Gong kind of skirts by on like, oh, they're just like a kooky offshoot of Buddhism. Yeah, Epoch Times is their newspaper. It's the Epoch Times. They give it out for free. They actually give it out for free in Cantonese in Chinatown in New York City to try and convert people and have the Chinese community in New York City on their side. They do, dude. They do. They just have beautiful dance shows. Do you know what happens in a Shen Yun dance show?
Yes, now the entire group, we are all on our way to jail. Except for me. I got taken to an interrogation room so they could find some reason to lock me up for good.
Then I am Detective Nikosha.
Last time, I was able to get released on bail. But this time, they're requesting that I be held in jail a month until my court date. But there's honestly nothing for me to hide, so I went through the entire story with them to show the detective that this whole thing is just a big misunderstanding. I mean, if you think about it, 83-year-old man versus $400 million company, even though the $400 million company's in the wrong, they're gonna win, you know? I wish we could just send them an email, like show up to court this day. That would be so easy for us. But this is how the law works. Like, that's not my fault. Like, I don't make the law. If I made the law, send them an email.
Yeah, so they got arrested for no Legos, yeah.
Like, he doesn't want your papers, you just have to figure out civilly. I'm like, this is the civil method, you know? Like, do it civilly, you have to serve. They're like, well, then just sue him then. I'm like, that's what we're doing. Like, you see how this is a circle? I am very interested on Josh's side of the story because I think he's...
Yeah, so the people who dance for Shen Yun, trained to dance that dance at a compound in the Catskills. And the compound is built with 0 nails. I wrote a script to do a video on the Falun Gong, but I never ended up following through with it. But it was one of those that I was like, this is really fucking insane. And then I just never did anything with it.
Might have been heroin in the car or something, and they did like a 3-hour search on our car. Obviously no heroin, so I don't know what Josh is telling them to that we're doing, but suing him is not working for us. So let's do a GoFundMe.
Right after I mentioned this GoFundMe, the investigator wanted to leave the room.
Hang tight here, and then I'll be back with you, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Something about me mentioning this GoFundMe really caught his attention.
All right. Good. Well, I'd just like to know more about this, like, GoFundMe. Like I said, I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, we were just trying to get, so basically what ended up happening is Ben got arrested, which we were pretty blown away he got arrested, but I'm like, all right, I'll take over now. Like, I don't want you to get in any more trouble. And he's like, yeah, I can't get in any more trouble. Like if you...
Remember, guys, regardless, if you are in the right, don't fucking say shit to the cops. Go, I want an attorney. I'm not saying nothing.
Take over, like that's, that was my decision. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know, what other questions do you, like, I guess have, because there's not really, I guess, much else to say in the situation, to be honest. That's just the whole thing that just happened. I mean, I'm honestly, like, kind of shocked to be arrested at this point for that. Yeah, this is definitely a very strange thing to be getting interrogated about, especially considering from my angle and the evidence I've seen, the overwhelming evidence that they just blatantly stole from this guy. It's like us trying to then do a GoFundMe to get him his money back, and I'm the one, getting put in cuffs. It's crazy.
I guess the detective didn't get what he was looking for, so he decided to interview the rest of the group.
Yeah, they're just looking for information to fuck him over.
A great project to me. I was like, okay, like it's for a good cause. How are you doing?
And for some reason, he was trying to get all of them to admit that the GoFundMe was my idea.
Hello. Obviously, Ben was behind the GoFundMe idea as well, right?
I don't know whose idea that was, because I kind of just started. I think they
But he was supportive of it as his channel, right? He said, oh yeah, let's do this for the channel. From my understanding. Was that kind of your ideas to do this video with the GoFundMe and all that?
But I wasn't afraid to admit that I actually made the GoFundMe for Brian, because a GoFundMe is a safe, legal way to raise money for a family if they got all their stuff stolen.
What do you think the GoFundMe would do? I have no idea what they're trying to get him on now. I genuinely have no idea.
I should be risking nothing by admitting this.
Basically, the police told me, do not take this man to court, or else he will get arrested. And so I was like, just thinking, and we're like, let's do a GoFundMe, and that was our solution.
But I was wrong.
We're going to book you back into the jail, okay? The creation of the GoFundMe, right? We're blasting this person all over saying, hey, he's...
So creating the GoFundMe was illegal?
When I asked the detective how creating a GoFundMe was probable cause to send me to jail, this was his response.
A lot of this stuff you may have to just get an attorney and fight it in the criminal side of court, right?
So what crime is he committing? What crime is the GoFundMe? Is that not protected speech? Are they counting that as defamation? Why is him having a GoFundMe so bad? I'm not like a GoFundMe user. Yeah, like why is it bad? Like what is it for?
Yeah, go ahead and stand up. I got an officer right here that's gonna get cuffs for you.
Will I also be able to hear Josh's side of the story? Because I think he's said a lot of lies to you guys.
It'll be, and I never talked to Josh, but it'll be documented in the report as well.
Okay, thank you so much.
But the detective was lying. The police have illegally redacted every single claim Josh has made about me, and when I finally go to court, I'm going to be completely blind to what I'm even being charged for. The worst part is that the police officers took away my bail, so now I have to wait a month in jail.
That's crazy.
However, I ended up getting extremely lucky. When a judge ended up reviewing this arrest, they thought the whole thing was so stupid and ended up releasing me on bail. So now, at least I'm a free man until my court case.
Let's go, man.
Wow.
The illegal acts that...
Why are they framing this guy for having a GoFundMe? Yeah, you're missing out on a lot. You're missing out on a lot. The Mormons are trying to protect their own, and they are trying to use the GoFundMe as an excuse for why this guy's like committing a crime. What that crime is.
That Josh stole the Legos in our GoFundMe. So if you
wait. So you can be criminally you can be booked criminally in Utah for defamation or alleged defamation. I wouldn't call it defamation, by the way, but that they have crimes against that in Utah. That's such an egregious abuse against the First Amendment here in the United States. I don't know if most Americans would be okay with that.
You say who the thief is, then that is illegal for us to do that.
Now I just have to wait
So Utah has laws prohibiting that kind of language. That's crazy.
court. And honestly, I'm not excited. My entire life, I was taught if you steal from people, you get in trouble. And if you help people, you get rewarded. But I guess I was just taught a lie. By me trying to help and do the right thing, all I did was just screw everything up and get all of my friends in trouble.
Yeah, it was probably a Mormon-created law, yeah. That protects the Mormons in power, baby.
Anything. And now with all the charges I got in this video, I'm looking at least 5 years in jail. But I finally accept my fate. I failed. And now it's time to go home. But before I made it home, one of my roommates called me saying that a police officer just showed up to our house.
So he rings the doorbell, and he's like, "Is Mr. Snyder here?" I was like, "Why?" I was like, "Can I deliver a message for you?" He's like, "How could you deliver a message?" He said it just like that. He was like, "Just tell him he has a warrant for his arrest." Like he thought he was an action movie type walk off, and that was his like end speaking line.
If I had to guess, I'd say that Bricks and Minifigs has seen that I am a free man, and they can't have me actively working on my lawsuit against them.
I would be worried that these Mormons are going to have him assassinated. Okay? These Mormons are going to kill him.
Considering how many lies Bricks and Minifigs has made about me in this video.
Fuck you, man. You stole him, bitch.
I stole the Legos?
American Park Police Department, make yourself known.
Included in the warrant are Legos.
I can only imagine of what I'm being accused of doing now. So immediately, I called the Utah Police Department to see what my warrant was for. Someone showed up at my house today saying that there was a warrant out for my arrest.
If that warrant says no bail, those are the ones that are more serious.
The only thing the police department could tell me is that I do have a warrant, but this time the judge approved it that I will have no bail. And I'm now a physical threat to Josh, the person the police are protecting.
A physical threat?
So basically, at any moment now, I could be arrested without bail for some mystery crime. There really is only one thing that I can do now.
Well, I'm in Mexico now, and the American police have no authority.
He fled the country. Oh my god. If this was a small, if this was a small Brazilian city, he would be dead.
Here. What's going on? What the heck is that thing? Can you get loose on that?
But at this moment, I realized what I had to do. Bricks and Minifigs thinks they can just bully anyone who tries to stop them in committing their crimes. And what's the only way to stop a bully? To stand up to them.
If me posting this picture online once got the city this upset where they had to arrest me, just think about how upset they'd be if thousands of people started wearing it.
Which is why the picture that got me arrested, I'm putting that picture on a shirt.
And you can buy this merch at WeStealFromOldPeople.com. So go right now. It's gonna be sick.
And yeah, all of the law enforcement that's protecting Bricks and Minifigs is gonna be pissed. But there's nothing they can do because I'm in Mexico.
Anyways, part 3 is now live on my Patreon at patreon.com/RecklessBen.
Also on Patreon, you'll find tons of behind-the-scenes content, plus the movie I made that all the streaming services rejected once they saw how gnarly it was. And all of the money I make goes directly towards trying to fight Bricks and Minifigs so they stop doing bad things to people. Also, make sure to donate to the GoFundMe we set up for Brian. I'm not really sure if I'm allowed to promote this. I mean, I got arrested just for creating this thing, but I'm gonna do it anyways. Everyone donate to this GoFundMe. I'm in Mexico now. The police can't do anything to me here.
Wow. Wow. That's crazy. All right. The police department had a response, but I need to go to work tomorrow, and it is past my bedtime. So I am going to go to bed. But that was outrageous, and I cannot wait to see the rest of it. But you don't hate Mormons enough. Oh, God. Wow. What an insane one. All right. Good night, guys.